Yo, 2 cents. What's going on? I got you. Hold on. I'm trying to figure it out. Hold on, how I do that? I gotta go on YouTube to do that. I got you though. A super wrench. I don't know about all that now. You might go rogue in my chat. Yo, hold on. Yo, what you say? Running the live ain't as easy as yeah. I mean, trying to figure out this darn app and everything. But yeah, you, you tapped into the flyer frequency. I know that's why you want that super wrench. No, but I know we got some boxing coming up later. We got the Pacheco fight coming up and all that. But I just wanted to tap in, drop some bars on here. You know what I'm saying about this, about a few things actually. I got just something to touch on. I don't know if I'm gonna be on here that long because I got some things to do. But I think somebody calling me. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, so I just want to talk about a few things, mainly this undisputed thing. You know, about Bud being undisputed. Is he not undisputed? Bud is definitely undisputed. Now, what the hell are my kids doing up there? Bud is definitely undisputed. You know, people trying to take that away from him or, say that he shouldn't be undisputed. Thank Father Yerd. Yeah, people trying to take that away from Bud, talking about he not undisputed and everything because he ain't paid the sanctioning fees and all of that. Man, undisputed is definitely about the belts and all, but all the belts were on the line when he fought. So I would say that he definitely is undisputed. Let me see what 2 cents say. I gotta zoom this joint in. Not technically, he didn't pay the fees, so he undisputed in theory. No, 2 cents. The reason why I say that he undisputed now because the belts were on the line and Bud actually got the belt. So they whether they want to take it back. Well, I hear that Suleiman now saying that they still want to work with Bud and all of that, but he was telling them to take the belt back, which means that he already had the belt. So he already had the belts. We saw how history unfolded. We can't go back and change history, yo. The Bud is undisputed. Whether he paid the fees or not, if he want to throw the belt in the trash, he could do whatever he want to do after he get undisputed. He don't even have to defend it. It's just in the records that the man is undisputed. You can't take that away. I heard somebody say that they was talking about playing on the words undisputed, saying that undisputed meaning there's no dispute. But you got to add the whole context to that though. It's being undisputed means that there's no other champion that can dispute that they're the champion. So, meaning that you have all the belts. So that's what undisputed is. That's where the term comes from. Being undisputed, you don't have any other champion left to say that they're the champ. So you got all of the sanctioning bodies belts. So that's what undisputed is. You can't play with the words and all of that and try to, justify 2 cents said There's too much hardcore talk. Hey man, people got different definitions of what hardcore is. Like I was telling you, 2 cents, you can't be claiming you're not a hardcore when you know too much about boxing to be saying that you're a casual. A casual fan would be a person who don't really know anything about boxing. You know, that's a person that don't really know what's going on in current events in boxing. Don't really know what's what, don't know who retired, what fight is canceled now, and all of that stuff. That's a casual. A person that likes boxing, you know, it's not necessarily their favorite sport, and they don't watch it that much. They watch it whenever they get a chance, you know. A casual an example of a casual fan is like one time at my job I was talking about Jerron Boots Ennis to somebody, and a casual just jumped in the conversation and said, and they was listening first, they heard what I was saying, and then they decided to inject themselves in. And she said something like, if he that good, did he fight Mayweather? You know, why he ain't fight Mayweather yet? You know, a casual, that would be an example of a casual. They don't know what the heck is going on in boxing. They don't know who's still fighting and all of that. Let me see. Too Rich Boxing said there are hardcore casuals too. Yeah, I don't know. People be trying to, you know, mix and match the different terms and make up new different hybrid terms and all of that, man. But if we just going with casual and hardcore, we know the two definitions of that. A hardcore fan is a person who really loves the sport and know a lot about it. Whereas a casual is a person who don't really know a lot about it, and they just, you know, they might watch it at their leisure, you know? Yeah, like she said, that's an oxymoron. Yeah, you can't put both of them together. You know, people like to transmute and create hybrids and all of that stuff. But no, 2 cents, you too deep in boxing to say that you a casual. You got a Sun Nest boxing, you got a whole boxing channel that you run. You up on most of the rules and all of that. You know what's going on. It's no way that you can be declared a casual. I mean, you can claim casual and say that you're a casual, but once somebody really know something about you, they see that you got a channel and all of that, and learn about you and learn that you got a Sun that's boxing and all of that, and you're involved in boxing, it's no way that you're a casual fan. You're definitely a hardcore fan. You just in denial. But back to the belts though, Bud is definitely undisputed. You know, but he did the work. He did what he had to do to become undisputed. All the belts were on the line. Now I did hear that before the fight that Suleiman wasn't going to be allowed in the ring or something like that. I think Turkey Al Sheik might have been him and Mauricio Suleiman was going through something or whatever. So Bud was, I mean, Turkey was trying to like lock him out of it or something, you know, not include the WBC or something, but he inserted himself. That's what the WBC do a lot, man. I find that they do insert themselves in situations, you know, to try to make a little, I think it's for them to make a little bit of money. They be trying to include their belts and, you know, oh, we going to throw the interim title in here, you know, and stuff like that so they can get paid some sanctioning fees. And I know that they knew that yeah, they knew that how Turkey was feeling about it and everything, but they just was pushing on to try to get themselves included for the sanctioning fees, because that's a huge fight. That's a lot of money. That would have been a missed opportunity for them to get a lot of money from Canelo and Bud. So definitely the WBC wasn't going to allow themselves to be excluded from that. So, you know, they inserted themselves in it. They sanctioned the fight along with the other sanctioning bodies. It's not, now I hear people saying that too, like, oh, you needed the WBC to sanction the fight. Bud didn't need them, bro. All the sanctioning bodies, you know, sanction the fight, but even if none of the sanctioning bodies was involved, the fight would have still went down because Turkey Al Sheik set the fight up with Bud and Canelo. They was going to fight regardless. The fight would have still happened, and we all know what's what, man. Canelo was undisputed. Bud beat him, so Bud is undisputed. You know, no matter which way y'all try to change it to try to discredit Bud or whatever because he not paying the sanctioning fees. Now let's talk about that for a second. The sanctioning fee. Now I heard somebody say that it's no way that Bud could have not known what the sanctioning fee was, like how much it was. But you can't say that when Mauricio Suleiman, the WBC president himself, didn't really know what the fees was. If you really think about what he was saying, he was coming up with all he had. Now this the thing that I was saying. He came with actual exact numbers. He said, yeah, he owed this amount, X, Y, and Z, and he didn't pay us that. That's what they was looking for. But at the same time, he said that they normally charge 3%, and he was giving Bud a break by charging 0.6%. But he had these actual numbers, and he said he didn't know how much Bud made. He was just estimating. So, you know what I'm saying? He estimating on what Bud made. So how you come up with exact numbers, bro? Like how? It don't make sense. And I heard somebody else try to I hear multiple people actually. I was on a panel when somebody tried to make sense of it, and they said I was told that it didn't make sense what I was saying, what I just said just now, and they said 50 million. It was like 3% of 50 million is exactly 300,000, which is what that Mauricio Suleiman said that Bud owed him, and he said 255,000 was supposed to go to some uh retirement fund or whatever for the boxers or whatever. But that don't make sense. It sounds nice when you say 3% of 50 million is exactly 300,000. But what about the fact that Mauricio Suleiman said he didn't pay that? He said he said he didn't ask for that. They're not asking for that. They said they're asking for 0.6%. So now what? And so what is it too much? Is he asking, is the number he quoted off of 3%, but he really meant to use a smaller number off of 6% of 50 million? Like, which one is it, man? It can't be, people make up so many different excuses and try to clean up his mess that he was, that he laid out there. Mauricio Suleiman was all over the place, man. I don't see how people can be on his side with this, I mean, even if you're going to say that Bud was wrong, Mauricio Suleiman was wrong as well. And I see 2 Cents said he owed the fees, period. But what fees? How much? Bud tried to offer them an amount, and they didn't accept that. They wanted more. But Mauricio Suleiman saying he wanted this 300,000. But this 300,000 is more than what you actually said that you was going to take out of it. You said you said you was charging 0.6%. So why is it 300K now? See? How you going to explain that? See, that's the thing. The haters don't want to explain that. The people who against Bud, they don't want to explain that. They just want Mauricio Suleiman to be right. They just want him to be right. So they'll try to, they won't even bother to try to explain away what Mauricio Suleiman is saying, how it don't make no darn sense. They'll just say, oh, Bud owed fees and he didn't pay. But Bud, it's not like Bud just wasn't trying to pay any fees. Bud tried to pay him a certain amount, the same amount that all the other sanctioning bodies accepted. And Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC didn't want to accept that. Well, let me see what she said. She said, Bill, don't tell them how much he paying. That's how it works. We know how it works, 2 Cents. We know how it works. But he's asking, so we just going to look past the fact that he's asking Bud for way more than what he's claiming that he was going to take? How he asking for 300K so what, he lying? You know what I'm saying? He on there lying and stuff? That's what you saying? And we supposed to just look past the fact that he lying? He said he's asking Bud for 300K, but he's saying he's only charging the 0.6% of what Bud made, which he in the video said Bud made like 50 million. And so that's what people doing the math off. The math is wrong. The math ain't mathing then. Get the money. First of all, you got to get the amount right before you try to say somebody owe you something. You can't just throw any number out there and expect them to pay it. He got the numbers all wrong. Hold on, let me see what people saying in the chat. He said, in the fees for WBC re-op belt at 54 is criminal. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know nothing about that, how much the fees is or none of that. Okay, so she said if Bud didn't tell them how much he made, it's not the WBC fault if they have to guess. But that's not the thing. They guessed and their math is wrong on what they guessed it was. They said it was 50 million. Okay, so 3% of 50 million is 300K. So how could 0.6% of 50 million be 300K? How? Like, you asking for way too much. That's why Bud told it. I agree with Bud. You need to smack yourself, bro. Your math ain't mathing. You asking for way too much. That's what I'm saying. Y'all not looking at what they're asking for. So what Bud's supposed to just pay them 300K when he said that he only charging 0.6% of 50 million? That's not 300K. That's more than 300K. That's less than 300K. So they asking for more. Let me see. Dankfather said the Magic Moth fight was for the WBA and WBO interim, and this ninja wanna put up a trinket belt. That's what Dankfather said. He ain't paid, so he ain't got to say no to those fights. She said, I think the autocorrect got 2 cents right here, but she said, frequent, I don't understand your brain worksheet. It's simple, 2 cents. If 3% of 50 million is 300K, how could 0.6% of 50 million be 300K too? How could he ask for the same amount? How could he say that he's giving Bud a break? He wouldn't charge 3% off of 50 million because that would be an astronomical number, but then still ask for the astronomical number, but say that you're just charging 0.6%. Then your numbers is wrong. The number you threw out there is the number for 3%. That's what I'm saying. When you're dealing with money and stuff, your math got to be right. Okay, so he said frequent. 50 million, 6% of 50 million is 300K. Okay, so he's saying that Bud made 50 million in three, even if that is true. Okay, so he said he didn't say that he knew definitely that Bud made 50 million. So Bud is like, how you know how much I made? You don't know how much I made. Bud is like, you guessed them, you estimating. He said you estimating. I think that's what he said, you estimating. In other words, he don't know exactly how much Bud made, so you can just throw out a number that you think that Bud made and then charge and then ask for your amount out of the number that you made up that you don't even know that he made that much. Like, it's the whole thing is, how can my whole point was, how can you get an actual number out of a guesstimation? Like, you don't know how much he made, but you pulled up an actual number for it. And 2 Cent was saying, like, if Bud didn't let him know how much he made, then he can guess. How is that fair? Like if he don't know how much he made. She said that's a dumb argument. How is that a dumb argument? If you don't know how much you're taking the percentage off in the first place, then how could you come up with an exact number? Is what I was saying. You don't know if he made 50 million. I heard people saying that Bud only made 10 million. I heard it being reported that Bud made 10 million, and people was going crazy about that. Like, he ain't make no 10 million. Bud made this. You know, they say there's no way that he made 50 million. So I don't understand. Like, so we was all going with 10 million. We was all going with the fact that we were saying that Bud made 10 million, right? And so then Mauricio Suleiman comes out and says he think that Bud made over 50 million for the fight. And so he asked him for this, that, and the third. So if he don't even know exactly how much Bud made, how could he even come up with a number? Like your first thing should be trying to find out exactly how much Bud made. Now that part right there is not hard. It shouldn't be hard for you because all you got to do is do discovery. Like if he actually thought that Bud was robbing him and that Bud signed an agreement and there was an agreement and all of that, why he ain't suing Bud then? Where his lawyers at? Why he ain't suing Bud then? You're Joseph Jackson was good. Yeah, he talking about Rui. Okay, yeah. So let me bring it to the. And now I want to bring this up now. This the other thing that I want to talk about. Tank can fight Devin right now, bro. I mean, why not? Now I know people expected me to say, because Tank was about to fight somebody who's bigger than a heavyweight and all of that, that he can fight Devin. And that's kind of true. If he was about to fight Jake Paul, why can't he fight Devin? But my whole thing is Devin don't have no fight right now. Tank is not busy right now either. Tank don't got no fight right now, and Tank was already gaining weight. We know that Tank was gaining weight to fight in that Jake Paul fight. So Tank is probably the biggest he's ever been right now. Pause. As far as his weight for the weight class or whatever, for what weight class he could fit in. So I think if anything, now is the perfect time for Devin to fight Tank now. Why Devin can't fight Tank now? I see people saying, "Oh, why Devin calling out people under his weight class?" How you know probably Tank probably weigh more than 147 right now. If he was getting ready for the Jake Paul fight, we already know he was trying to bulk up and get his weight up to fight in the Jake Paul fight. We know he wasn't coming in there small, you know? So why they can't fight now? They can fight right now, man. He ain't pulling them up. Tank already up there. He was about to fight Jake Paul. So what's good? What's up with the fight? I don't see no problem with it until Tank come out, unless Tank come out and show that he's not that big, whatever. He's back down to 135 or something like that. Step on the scale and put it online like you usually do, and show how much you weigh right now. Other than that, man, I don't see no problem with Devin with Bill calling out Tank right now. Because the assumption is that he was gaining weight for Jake Paul. The Jake Paul fight got scrapped. He should be big enough to get up in there. Go to 147, man, or at least 140. I say he probably big enough to fight at 147 right now. I know the Tank fans about to cry. Oh, why are you talking about Tank? Leave Tank alone. He too big. Why Devin trying to fight a 135 pounder? No, he not a 135 pounder right now. Let me see what people saying. She said Devin need to stay in his weight class. Devin is in his weight class. Tank is up there, man. Tank is heavy right now. Tank was he was trying to bulk up for the Jake Paul fight. You know that. Y'all ninjas know that. Joseph Jackson say sometimes he gotta pick on the little ninjas. Come on, man. What happened to he knock out heavyweights and all of that? Ain't that one of y'all famous quotes that y'all like to say about Tank? One of the things y'all like to brag about? She said Dev never beaten the weight bully allegations. We don't care about the weight bully allegations, man. Don't nobody care about that, man. Because no matter where he go, you always gonna say, "Oh, he was bigger." Yeah, when he fought Ryan Garcia, y'all was trying to lie and say, "Oh, Devin was bigger than Ryan Garcia." Oh no, they was the same size, knowing dang well that Ryan Garcia was bigger than Devin. Came in 3 pounds overweight when they got in there. Come on, man. No 2 cents and Joseph Jackson going back and forth. Yo, hold on, y'all. Hey, yo, y'all smash the like button, yo, when y'all come in. Smash the like button. I think I hope it's in horizontal and vertical. I don't know. I think all of the comments is coming in the same place, but yeah, Tank can fight Devin right now, man. I don't see what's the problem, but I ain't gonna stay on that too much. Um, Ryan can fight Devin right now too, though. What? See, people. A lot of people saying that Devin don't want to fight Ryan. Why he don't want to fight Ryan? Why he trying to fight Rolly and all of that? Rolly is game, man. But Ryan Garcia is trying to fight Barrios, man. If Ryan Garcia wanted to rematch Devin, why he not fighting him right now? That's my question to y'all. Why he not fighting Devin right now? He don't got to fight Barrios. He could fight Devin. He could be pushing to fight Devin right now. Devin ain't doing nothing. Ryan is trying to fight Barrios. As far as I know, it's not a signed fight. It's not a done deal already. Why he not fighting? Why he not trying to fight Devin right now? She said Devin not trying to fight Ryan. Devin is trying to fight Ryan. If Ryan trying to fight Barrios. That's why he trying to fight one of the other. Devin is trying to fight Rolly because Ryan won't fight Devin. Ryan is fighting Barrios. So Devin trying to get Rolly out the way so Ryan won't duck him again. See, what Ryan is trying to do, Ryan is trying to beat Barrios and get the belt and then come and rematch Rolly. He not trying to rematch Devin. He trying to rematch Rolly and fight Rolly. They trying not to fight Devin. That's what they doing. So and even if y'all saying, oh, that's not what he trying to do, he trying to fight Devin next. Okay, well, why Devin can't fight Rolly to get him out the way, to get rid of the possibility? If Devin beat Rolly, then Ryan ain't gonna have nobody to fight, instead of Devin. Only Devin gonna be there. How 2 cents? If Devin fight Ryan on the same card that Ryan is fighting Barrios, what's the problem? How is that messing up the fight between him and Ryan? Devin could get rid of Rolly, and Ryan, if he don't fumble the bag again, if he don't mess it up, he can get rid of Barrios, and then it'll be just them two can fight or whatever, and then whoever the winner out of those two can fight the other dude who got the belt, whatever the dude who got the IBF or whatever. Oh, they talking about Conor Ben? Yeah, they talking about Conor Ben. Conor Ben, I don't even know if Conor Ben would be able to get down there, man. I don't think Conor Ben doing nothing. They say Conor Ben brings nothing. He has nothing Devin wants. True. I agree with that too. Rolly got a belt, but Ryan don't really got a belt. So I kind of would rather Ryan to beat Barrios first and get the belt. But why y'all trying to stop Devin from fighting Rolly though? That if Devin beat Rolly and take the belt from him, then it'll make it a bigger fight when Ryan and if Ryan beat Barrios, it'll make a bigger fight for Devin and Ryan to fight in a unification bout. Ain't that what y'all always talk about? The money, y'all always talk about how big the fight is, how much money the fight will be. I think it'll be more money added to the fight if it's a unification fight. It'll be a bigger fight. So it make all the sense in the world. I don't see how it don't make no sense to y'all. Let me see. She said, Devin act like everybody ducking him after every fight. But we see people ducking them all the time. Y'all be out here like Stevie Wonder, acting like y'all don't see nothing. So you ain't see that Rolly said he'll never fight Devin, that he don't want to fight Devin. You ain't see that? So that ain't a duck to you? That's a blatant. People be ducking Devin out in the open, and y'all still be saying ain't nobody ducking Devin. Or y'all try to cook Devin for trying to say everybody ducking him when people be ducking them right in front of y'all eyes. But y'all try to play like ain't nobody ducking them. I saw people do whole lives talking about, I saw people do whole videos talking about none of the champions should fight Devin. They all should duck Devin. So what y'all talking about? Hey Joseph, man, she definitely saw, man. I don't know what type of games they be playing, but she definitely saw. They know. They be knowing these things. They be knowing for sure. Hey, I'm gonna throw the link out there right now. I don't know how I can pin it though. Hanos Clan in the building. I had to put the logo on to piss some people off. Yeah, I don't know. I'm stuck on the vertical live, and I can't really navigate this joint right. Yeah, what's going on?
What's up, Freaker? You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, man. Devin bullying the PBC right now, man. They don't want no smoke.
All of
It's
them, man. All of them trying to
all
duck.
of them.
They playing duck, duck, goose out here, man.
I mean, Tank right now, I say it's a duck pending. You know, I think he gonna duck him because I don't think he gonna fight him. Everybody know he's scared of Debo. That's just
Man,
facts.
man, you know he not gonna fight Devin, man. We just put it out there so he could look like a duck, man.
Yeah, we already know what that is. He don't want no smoke. Roby definitely don't want no smoke. He just ducked in broad daylight.
Yeah, look, in 2 Cents talking about ain't it? Devin always saying everybody duck him.
You know everybody duck Devin. Shit. You
Hold on,
know
here
what it
go.
is? You know what it is about Tank fans? Why Devin scare him? Because he know he'll beat their favorite fighter. That's why they scare him. Oh, Devin too big. Now Devin He-Man now.
2 Cents was good.
Man, I can't let y'all get away with this dumb shit today. We not. I already listen. This is the thing. I already said this before it even happened. I said I'm not letting now. Y'all can do whatever y'all want, but I'm not letting Devin get away with calling out smaller fighters, and when they don't want to fight them, y'all gonna say it's a duck. No. Why is Devin even calling out a fighter 2 weight classes below him anyway?
What smaller fighter he calling out?
Man, what are you talking about?
Who this smaller fighter you talking about? 2 Cents?
I'm just
I'm,
let y'all know I'm ignoring y'all.
I know you're not talking about the fighter that was about to fight a heavyweight. I know you're not talking about him.
You can't be talking about little man.
Yeah, I know you're not talking about him. The one that beat up heavyweights. I know you're not talking about him. Devin He-Man now, huh? 2 Cents.
hold on. So 2 cents. You don't think that Tank was trying to bulk up and try to come in heavy to fight Jake Paul? You don't think some of that weight's still on him? I think all of it's still on him. Probably he ain't doing that. He ain't about to
In
fight.
case y'all don't know, y'all sound ridiculous, but carry on.
Yeah, we sound ridiculous.
I
That tank is a duck pendant. That's crazy.
look, but you ain't gonna answer the question.
I don't.
I
It's
ask
not.
you a question.
I don't have no answer for you, bro.
I
We
didn't think you
know.
really had an answer because you know the truth.
What
That man is
does Devin
Here,
scare
I
you?
know I'm over here in Haynos territory, so go ahead. I'm not here to
Do you
argue.
think Devin gonna stop Tank? Is because he's so big and strong? Is that the reason?
no. They said Devin can't punch. I don't know why they scared
I
for
don't know.
Devin to fight
Shit,
Tank to
they
fight
seem a
Devin. I
little
don't know.
scared now.
So now people are scared
No, well, y'all
because
been scared. Y'all been scared first of all for years.
okay. So if we've been scared, why the fuck you think we're gonna go up to 147 and fight you? Why you even saying our name then?
Because he big. Because he big.
Because
He
you
that size now. He
because you
he he
closet.
he that
You,
size now. If he come down from 165, what he was
yeah.
like. If he
How
come
is
down
that?
from
What was the last?
165, you know what I'm saying, with Jake
Where was
Paul or
Tank?
whatever,
Where
he could
was
stop.
Tank's last fight? Where was Tank's
His la-
last fight?
his
It was
last fight
about to
was about
be
to be
at
at 195.
No,
175.
no, listen. This is what I want y'all to do. Just answer my questions. Don't add
Yeah.
no sauce to it or nothing.
175.
What was Tank's what weight division was Tank's last fight that he actually fought in?
Oh, the one he actually
175.
fought in?
Yeah.
That was at 135.
Oh,
But
okay. Okay.
so how was it?
What
So
does that
how was
mean
it
though?
different? Hold on. So how was that different for Boots then? Yeah, because Boots last weight class that he fought in was 147, and then when Devin was trying to fight him, y'all was like, oh, he was at 154 already.
Yeah, he
So I
My
wasn't.
said, so
problem is,
the
problem
same
is
thing
why
applies.
the problem is why is Devin always having such an issue trying to get people to fight that's not in the
Exactly.
fucking weight class? Why does he keep doing that? That's the
How
He
question.
on
Boots was in the weight class according to what you're saying about Tank. If Boots
Boots
wasn't
was
in the weight class,
y'all already knew Boots had already left the weight class. Like I don't
he
what?
didn't lead a weight class.
Hold on.
He
What
did
was
not lead
his?
a weight class.
Hold on. What was Boots' last fight that he actually fought in? What weight class was it?
it was 147 pounds.
Exactly. So it's the same. You can't flip flop on what you're saying.
I'm not
You
flip.
said that
Hold on, frequent. I'm not about to let you do this dumb shit.
you flip
Because
flopping
no,
when it come to Tank though. You
no,
said the same.
not adding context. Frequent. We're not. We're gonna add. We're not gonna take a situation and be like, oh, it is. No. Let's add context. We all knew that.
So now context is important. You was telling
Context
Yeah,
me,
man.
y'all be telling me,
They,
y'all be cutting me off. Y'all don't want to hear the context and
man,
all that. But I'm gonna let you hear. I'm gonna let you do the context because I think that's
frequent.
Go
They
only right.
be
ahead. This your channel. Go ahead.
frequent.
No,
They
I
be
like
bullshitting.
context. I like context. I think context is what's supposed to be introduced. So I'm gonna let you do that. But even though y'all don't let me do it, but go ahead.
No, I mean it's cool. Like y'all brains don't even
Let me
comprehend what
go.
I'm saying.
If she
So
don't want to go, let me go. Let me
go ahead.
go.
Now you don't want to provide you
Yeah.
don't want to give us the
Let,
context now. The
let me
context,
provide
I'm
some
feeling like the
context.
context ain't gonna make sense. That's why I was telling you to go ahead. I think you might
Let
have thought about it
Oh, okay.
and
Well, let me
realized.
make some sense for you. We already knew Boots was going to move up to the next division. He said he either wanted to unify or he was moving up. He wanted to have an opportunity to defend his belt and fight for another belt. He did that. And after he did that, he said he was going to go up to another weight class. I'm not going to stay here and fight Devin for what? Does Devin have a belt? Did Devin have a belt?
Boots
nah.
had
He was
two. Boots
Did
had two
Devin
Devin.
have
belts.
a belt?
No,
Devin was
Boots
trying to
had
take
two
his
belts,
He
but
belt. He was
Devin
trying
was
to
to
take
bigger
his
bring
than
that
him
belt.
thing
though.
to the table. So Boots had no reason
Nah,
to stay in the
Devin did
147
bring something
pounds
to the
to
table.
struggle to make the weight to fight Devin.
Nah,
Next question.
Devin did bring something to the
Devin
table for
ain't bring
Boots.
shit to the
Yes,
table.
he did. He brought
No, he
more
did not.
money than Boots will ever make. That's what he brought.
Man, cut that shit out, bro.
He
You
do. He
tripping.
still make more money than Boots. By far. You know it. Stop capping.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that. Don't lie. Don't lie and say you don't. He cleared Boots easily.
Like I said, obviously he didn't bring nothing worth staying and fighting for.
Yeah,
So
he brought money. He brought money in a better resume than he's ever
Hold,
seen, and a better fighter than he's ever seen. That's what
hold
he
on,
brought.
hold on, Jonathan. But look though, when And when you're saying like when Boots was you're saying Boots was going up to 154, he already announced that he was going to 154, right?
He
Bro, I'm
did.
not
But
about to argue this, but go ahead.
Tank is the same situation. Tank last fight was at 135. We agreed to that, but we know that Tank was about to go up and to 170. What is it? 190, 175
Now
to
one, I
fight
think it
Jake
was
Paul.
195 or something like
To
that. Something
fight Jake
crazy.
Paul. And y'all was happy as hell. Y'all was happy as hell that Tank was about to fight Jake Paul. Y'all pretend like y'all wasn't, but then y'all start, y'all was
I
happy
ain't
that Tank
pretend
was
like
moving
shit.
up.
Well,
I
frequent
see
they
D,
know. Yeah, they know.
I see D1 in the comments and everything talking crazy. D1, you was singing too when Tank was moving up to
Yeah.
here go D1, man.
Well, moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Moving on up to the east side, we finally get a piece of the pie. Yeah.
D1, y'all was hyped as hell that Tank was about to get that payday, man. Y'all was singing the Jeffersons moving on up and everything, D1.
You
And
know,
and and
it's really
now y'all don't want to fight. Now y'all don't want Tank to fight Devin. When the fight, we see that the fight is clearly not happening. The fight got canceled. Y'all know Tank still got all that weight on him. So why he can't make a pit stop at 147 and fight Devin, his arch nemesis that y'all all been talking about, who pillow fisted and all of that. Tank could easy knock him out. Tank knock out heavyweights and all of that stuff. So why he can't just fight him? He can fight him now. He don't got nothing to lose.
it's
Before
it's
he
it's,
retired, he said he about to retire.
it's borderline pathetic that y'all begging for 135 pounder to come up and fight Devin. Like it's borderline, but I'm just telling y'all, it's not giving the look that y'all think it's giving. I just want to let y'all know that before y'all carry on with this. It's not giving what y'all think it's giving. Devin Haney needs to focus and worry about who's at 147. He don't need to be worried about Shakur and pulling him up. He don't need to be worried about Tank and pulling him up, nigga. Fight the people at your weight class, bro.
Yeah,
Why is you worried
Devin,
about
Devin
trying to
worried.
fight
Devin
smaller
worried
fighters?
about who on that list. That's who Devin
All
worried about.
along, and I
Devin
already
worried
told
about who on
y'all.
that list, and
I
don't cry
already
now. Two
told
cents.
y'all. We're not gonna let Devin Haney call out smaller fighters, and when they don't want to fight them, y'all gonna put y'all
When did
seatbelt
Tank become
on
too
and
small?
and
When
start
did Tank
Johnson
become too
bouncing and running
small?
around and acting like everybody ducking
Yeah,
Devin. They
but
not,
not.
bro.
But look. But
If you
look. But
call
look. Check
out a
this out. Two
smaller
cents.
fighter and they don't want to
Check.
fight you, that is not a duck. Period.
Check this out. Check this out. Two cents. As soon as Devin move out of 140, now Tank want to fight fighters that's at 140. That's crazy to me. 140 was too big when Devin was there because he was a weight bully.
Nigga,
He
Devin
he
was
he gonna
barely
kill
at
him.
140. What the
Yeah,
fuck is
yeah,
you talking
whatever,
about?
whatever, whatever,
How long was
whatever. I
Devin
know,
at
I know, I
140,
hurt
bro?
your feelings. I
How
know, I
long
hurt your
was
feelings
Devin
when
at
I said
140?
that. I know, I
How
hurt your
long?
feelings, Devin.
Hold,
We know
hold on,
Devin
hold
was
on,
calling
y'all.
Tank
Hold
That's
on.
out when he
not
was at
gonna do the
140.
hurting feelings emotional shit. We're not doing that.
Yeah, I know, I
Don't
know, I
do it
know. I
Hold,
like
hurt
hold
your
on,
feelings.
hold
That's
on,
that.
okay.
Jonathan.
We're
But
not doing
you, but what's your point though? You said how long was Devin at 140 though, Queen?
He
because
fought him right after the fight.
he's talking about now Devin gone from 140. Tank want to go fight people at 140. Devin was
Am
barely
I
at
lying?
140. He
Am I
started
lying?
babysitting his way up to
Am I
140
lying?
pounds.
Am I lying?
He fought at 140.
Did I
Then he
lie?
had
Let her talk. Let her talk, John.
144, and then he finally got the balls to move up to 147 pounds once Boots left.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
whatever.
what.
Y'all
Well,
said he was at 140. Y'all said he was at 147 when he fought at 144. You can't keep flip-flopping on it. You got to keep it consistent. Y'all
yeah.
said
No,
that was already
if
at
you
welterweight. Y'all
fight at a
argued us
fight at a
down. He
weight,
wasn't there.
if you fight at a catch weight, y'all are so frequent. I see why you've been married 3 times, bro. Listen, when you fight at a weight
In this
class,
line, we can have up to 4 wives.
hey, do what you got to do. But when you fight at a catch weight, they usually round it up to the next weight class. That's the only argument that's about that. That was the point of that argument.
Hey,
But
frequent.
that
What
doesn't
happened?
take away the fact that Devin Haney had to baby step his way to the next weight class, and
Uh-huh. Okay,
that's
yeah, he did it. He did it. He did it smart. Just say that. But frequent, what happened after Devin Haney fought Regis Prograis? Didn't the whole world get scared and say Devin was just too big for Tank?
Yo, the same thing they cooking everybody else about.
Nigga, nobody
Devin
is
the
scared
only
of
one
Devin
who
because he
moving
really
like
be
that.
on
Every
TV for
time
like
Devin move up to the next weight class, he fight a champion. Straight out the gate. He just dive right into deep water.
Yeah, that's why they scared because he take
he
out
fought
Goliath
women,
everywhere
women
he
a
go.
prospect with a belt. Come on,
So
y'all.
now,
Cut it.
now he a prospect. He was a champion. Y'all was
Nah,
talking. Well, I can't say you because you did join the Hanos clan for a brief moment,
no, I ain't
but
never joined the
but
bitch ass thing. Freaking cut it out.
everybody else, man, everybody else was talking
You
about
said
Devin was
Devin.
going to get knocked out and all of that, and now everybody just want to throw B Norm Jr. away. Now he trash. Now he was trash all along and all of that. You see him too, says you see how they was doing before the fight, and because I saw you cooking them too, saying, you don't understand why, people were saying that Brian Norman Jr. was going to beat Devin, why Devin shouldn't be able to win. And after the fight, you was on there cooking them on your channel, right? Because I wasn't there that day, but you said they called you names and they called you crazy and all of that stuff. I missed that or whatever, but I saw you cooking them. So, so don't act like you don't know how crazy they was getting and how
See,
they was up on Brian Norman Jr.
see,
No,
Two
no,
Cents know the truth though.
I'm
2 Cents.
objective. I'm objective and I'm honest. So I'm gonna tell people when they being crazy, and I'm telling y'all right now, Hanos clan, y'all are being crazy, trying to run around and act like people are ducking Devin in divisions lower than him if they don't want to come up to fight him. Come on,
We
y'all.
didn't
Y'all know.
say Tank ducking yet.
Tank
He's a
not
duck
in it.
pending. He a duck.
But
He
Tank
duck
not in
pending.
the low. Tank not in the. Yeah, he said it's a duck pending. But Tank
Yeah.
not in the lower division, is he?
What division does Tank fight in frequent?
We
We
don't
don't know
know. He
where
ain't
he at
fought.
now. We don't know where he at now. He been.
All right,
He
all right.
young.
He
He
was
So
might
about last
fall.
we saw. He was about to fight Jake Paul at. He was about to
fight
fight Jake Paul at
what was the
175 somewhere. So we don't know where he at now. Where he might land. He might be
was,
too big to go back down to 135.
was he campaigning there?
Shit, yes.
He
When
was
you
ca- he
fight
was
there, you're
he was can
campaigning
he was
there.
campaigning. To be fair, he was campaigning at 135, yes. And the fight he was about to fight Jake Paul in, it
An
wasn't a real
exhibition,
fight.
right?
I know
An
that, yeah, I
exhibition.
know y'all want to say that was an exhibition fight. So to be fair, I'm gonna give y'all that too. But we know that Tank was gaining weight to get there. We know he was trying to get all the way up there, and then the fight just got abruptly snatched from under him. So
Yeah. We
now,
ain't gotta speak
so
on why
that
it
don't mean
happened,
that
but
the
yeah.
weight disappeared that he was gaining. So we don't know where he at right now.
But what I'm trying to tell y'all is that don't mean if I don't want to come up 2 and 3 weight classes that all I'm saying is y'all
You
act
don't
like
know what
Devin
he
snap
wanna
his fingers
do.
and if
You
people
you
don't do
don't
what Devin say they are duck.
you don't
That's
know
not
what he
how this
wanna
shit
do,
works.
Two
That's not how
Cents.
this goes.
You don't know what he wanna do. He ain't
That's what I'm
responded yet.
saying. And that's exactly
Tank
what I'm
ain't never
saying. All
said,
I'm
look,
saying
look,
to
check this
y'all
out.
is
Check this out. It's
you
only
cannot
Tank
just
fans.
label people as ducks as if
Hold
the
on,
whole
2 Cents.
boxing revolves around Devin Haney. It doesn't.
Hold on, y'all.
Okay,
That's
Look,
whatever.
look,
Nobody
we got
said
clear.
that.
Hold on, y'all. We got clarification right here. Tank was about to fight a catch weight at 195, bro. So if he was gaining weight to try to fight at a catch weight of 195,
He was
and
not
the
gonna
fight
weigh
just
155 pounds frequent. Stop playing.
How much you think he
I'm
was
not
gonna
saying,
weigh
I'm not
then?
saying, huh? I'm saying Tank was trying to get up there. He wasn't trying to stay. You know darn well
Yeah.
Tank wasn't staying at no one. He wasn't still losing weight. And then Tank was
So
gaining weight to try to fight at that catch weight.
Is Tank gonna make the same kind of money fighting Devin? Moving up?
Yes. Probably more.
Yes,
Probably more.
probably
You
more.
know
Because
Devin got
Turkey Island
turkey.
Sheik got the bag for
Stop
him.
it.
Turkey
All
Island
right, man.
Sheik got the
I can
bag for him.
argue
Y'all
All
can't
that
get
with
money.
away.
you.
Y'all can't
Look,
use the money thing now.
yeah, he
Money.
can't use that. That money excuse over with. He got it.
Yeah, that's one of the things they don't like about Turkey. You know what I'm saying? Coming into the game because Turkey, he throw that money issue out the window. Y'all can't use that excuse no more. That money excuse. Oh, he ain't gonna make no money. Devin don't sell and all. Well, guess what? Turkey Al Sheik is putting the money up. Then now what?
Yeah.
It
How
can
much Tank
he can
won? He won
possibly put
40
the money.
million. He won
Let,
50
let me not
million.
say he's definitely putting it up, but it's a possibility that Turkey Al Sheik will put the money up because Devin is in a 3-fight deal with him. How
No,
about that
that's a
one?
guarantee. That's not a possibility. That's a guarantee. He got to.
Oh, she went silent. I don't think she got nothing to say to that.
No, y'all got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, but 2 cents, you know the truth. That's why you protecting your guy. You know Devin
I'm
is
not
is
protecting
a
no.
wait,
Listen, I
wait, let me
don't give a
finish.
fuck
Let me
about
finish. Let
others.
me
I'm not
finish. Let me
protecting
finish.
nobody.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
She
Don't
said
get
you got it, but then she ain't gonna let
God
you get it.
dang, let me finish. Hold your horses. You know the truth. Devin Haney is a monster at 147. You trying to protect your guy. I know it. He would have killed him at 140 or 135 too. It's gonna be the same thing.
I
No,
don't think I would
my
use the
bad. It
term
might not
monster.
be the same thing. He might knock him out at 47. You right.
Like a monster. He's a
No, you
monster.
he a monster.
Wow, man.
That's why you calling Tank so little and shit like that. Even though Tank never said he was so little for
Never said that.
147.
So when did you ever hear me say that?
You just said that. Why Devin trying to pull up little guys? Did you not say that?
Did I say? I said, why are you trying to pull up smaller fighters in smaller weight divisions? Which is
And who
exactly
are you referring
that is
to?
the absolute
Who are
fact.
you referring to?
I said Shakur and Tank. I named the two fighters he trying to.
Man, Shakur said he'll fight Conor Ben. Now he want a weight clause on it. Man, shut that. That's soft shit. Because Devin. They know Devin a monster. They know what they dealing with. Y'all don't realize it. He a
What
monster
part
though.
of Devin is what about Devin's fighting style is
how
monstrous?
how they
Could
treat
you
him. How
to me,
how other fighters
could
treat
you
him.
explain to
All
me
that
what
weight
about
clause.
Devin's fighting style
Yeah,
is
yeah.
monstrous?
Yeah, his footwork, his jab, his strength. I've been told y'all he has strength. He has power. He has power to knock you out if he want to. And I guarantee you he'll stop Tank.
He ain't knock nobody out in heavyweight, bro. What is you
Oh
talking
well,
about?
I know he'll stop Tank. Yeah, he'll stop Tank though.
He could stop Tank, but he couldn't stop Brian Norman. Come
Shit.
on,
I
man, cut
mean,
it out.
he took Tank money at 16, so I guarantee he'll stop Tank.
Hey, I think that Devin probably would have stopped Brian Norman Jr. if the ref
The
didn't
Johnson
come in
bouncing
there
is
and break it
off
up.
his.
Nah,
Joe,
you wanna
let's go to right.
nah this is big brother. You wanna know why
Oh,
he
you
didn't
big
stop
brother.
Brian
Listen,
Norman? Brian
listen.
Norman.
I just want to give you a compliment. The Johnson bouncing is top tier. I just want to give you a compliment. It's top
I
tier.
mean, I mean, you don't
But
offend me when you say that. It's okay. I know I got you on your feelings. It's all right. But the reason why he didn't stop Brian Norman is because Brian Norman stopped trying. If he would have kept trying, like, oh, I'm gonna go get him, he would have been asleep because he
Oh,
stopped.
how long you
He
been watching
stopped.
boxing, bro?
No, yeah. He Brian Norman put
How long
himself in
have you been
check. He said,
watching
I ain't
boxing?
going. Brian, you seen the same fight I seen. Brian Norman
Nigga
put
said he
himself in
didn't do nothing
check.
because Brian stopped trying.
Yeah, he did. You seen the
Brian
fight.
Norman picked it up in the later rounds. Though.
No, he didn't.
You don't
That
think
nigga was
Brian
just
picked it up in the
no,
later
he
rounds?
didn't. Brian Norman was just initiating the clinches in the back half of the fight. He didn't pick nothing up.
I don't know, Two Cents. You starting to sound like a hardcore fan now.
When did
Nah, I'm a
Brian Norman
casual.
pick the
I don't know
when did
shit about
Brian
boxing.
Norman pick it up? When did Brian Norman pick it up? What
I
are you
mean,
talking about?
I didn't say he started winning or nothing. I'm just saying he picked it up a
So
little
when
bit.
did he pick it up? When did he do something where Devin had to show him? You can't do that. He was in check the
I
whole
didn't say
fight. He
I didn't.
said,
No, you
yeah,
moving
Devin
the
put him in
goalposts.
check.
You talking about when the
No,
Devin had to
no,
do
this is what
something?
I've been
Just
saying.
pick it
I
up
ain't
a little
moving the
bit.
goalposts.
My
This is what
whole
I've been
point
saying.
is y'all are telling me that Devin is monstrous and nigga get a knockdown in round
Yes.
two and then he let
Yes.
off the gas
We
the rest
been,
of the fight.
you
There's
know what the
nothing
funny part
monstrous about
is? I've
that, bro.
been saying this though. This ain't
There's
nothing
nothing
new.
monstrous about that.
This ain't nothing new. I've been saying this
Ho-
since he
ho-
been at 135.
Hold up, one at a time, y'all. Y'all talking over each other and everything.
Oh my bad. But I've been saying this since he been at 135, and you know this.
What was you saying,
We'll
Two
see.
Cents?
We'll see what's next for Devin Haney. Like I said, I like Devin. I don't dislike Devin Haney, and I don't think he's a bad fighter. Um, and I do want to see him in good fights. My only issue is the whole everybody does like. I don't like that. Like, that's just annoying, man. For real. I
Okay.
already knew he does this after
Wait.
every single fight,
What part? What you saying is annoying?
bro. We're not gonna sit here and act like everybody is continuously ducking Haney every single time. Like, we don't need to do that. We don't need to
It's
make it seem like other
Nobody's saying
fighters are
that.
ducking. There's no need to do any of that. Let's just move on to
Nobody's
whoever we're
saying
gonna
that.
fight, whoever we're gonna fight.
It's only two people that's realistically ducking him right now, and it's Crocker and it's Rolly. That's it. Tank is a duck pendant.
You said Crocker ducking too?
Yeah, we know Eddie's keeping Devin away from Crocker. That's fine.
How do you know that? Well, like, I haven't heard anything about Crocker. What's the news about that?
Eddie Hearn is keeping Devin away from Crocker. That's why when they brought him up, he was like, you know what I'm saying, that's not an exciting fight. Yeah, I mean, maybe you don't watch the same interviews I watch.
No, I'm just asking
Well,
what make you think that. I'm asking what have you heard and seen that's making you think that?
That Eddie don't want to work with Devin, with none of his fighters. I'm not even talking about Conor Ben because he's trash, but none of them. He don't want to
I
work
don't
with
know
him.
about Crocker, but I do
No,
know
I
that
definitely know about Crocker. I
I,
mean,
I
I'll have to
no,
send you the
I'm
interview
saying no. I'm
frequently.
just saying that as far as Eddie Hearn, I did see, and what I saw, I did see an interview with Eddie Hearn, and they asked, and he was with Conor Ben, and they asked him about a fight with Devin Haney, and they was trying to say that he was boring and all of that stuff,
Yeah,
but I
but
think they just was
then
trying to duck him.
Connor ducking, and Devin don't even want to fight him. That's the crazy part. I don't get it. He ducking, and Devin don't even want to fight him because he brings nothing. But Crocker, no, yeah, they got him in bubble wrap over there in the corner. They don't want that smoke. They probably saving him for Richard Henderson. That's my
So
guess.
let me ask y'all this: didn't y'all hear that Rolly? How long have y'all been hearing that Rolly was supposed to be fighting or trying to fight Pacquiao?
And he's not fighting
No,
Pacquiao.
they came out and they said Rolly ain't fighting Pacquiao.
So what are
Why
you
not?
talking about? Because it's not happening.
Why not though?
It's not
Because
why they say
Pacquiao
because
don't
they
want him.
said it. No, they say it's not. No, it's not. Pacquiao don't want it. They said Rolly Romero would have to fight a mandatory before he would be allowed to fight Pacquiao.
So he only got to fight the
So
mandatory
he
to fight
can't
Pacquiao, or is it
he
mandatory
can't
next?
use that excuse. He could fight Devin Haney for a belt right now.
No, hold on. Let me finish my question. So he only has to fight the mandatory to fight Pacquiao, or does he have a mandatory he needs to fight next?
No, he has a mandatory
Yeah,
that he has to fight next.
we know you a
Hold on,
casual.
Jonathan. He has a mandatory that he has to fight next, and so they're not gonna let him fight Pacquiao without fighting that mandatory. I forget who the mandatory
It's
is,
But they
but
would
Devin
let him fight Devin without fighting the mandatory.
Yes.
he said he not accepting step aside money.
So they
Yeah.
would let him fight Devin without fighting the
Yeah.
mandatory.
Yes. Yes.
Unifications trump
Trump
mandatories. Come on,
mandatory.
you a hardcore fan, you know that.
And
No, I don't know shit about boxing.
they ain't been to that first bit yet, so he still can fight another champion.
So y'all don't think he want to fight the mandatory so then he could get the Pacquiao fight?
Unifications trump mandatories.
But that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking y'all don't think Rolly would just want to fight his mandatory so he could get the Pacquiao fight?
He could want to fight. He could. I'm not saying
So
that he
that would make
can't.
more sense. That would make more sense for Rolly to do, right? If he been
That
trying to
don't
get the Pacquiao fight.
that don't mean that it's not a duck. If you want to duck somebody because you want to fight somebody else so you can possibly get into fight Manny Pacquiao, you want to duck a championship bout. You want to duck an opportunity to unify and become a unified champion because you're scared that it's going to mess up a fight 2 fights away. It's a duck.
Bro, and Rolly clearly came out and said, "I do not want to fight Devin Haney. I have no interest in that fight.
So
His fighting style is
you don't
boring."
agree
He's
that that's a
ducking.
duck 2 cents that he want to fight a fight. He don't want to fight Devin Haney to unify to get a belt from him, possibly get a belt from him. He want to fight his mandatory instead, so then he can fight another fight with Manny Pacquiao.
I mean, that could be what he's trying to do. It could be what his plans are.
I mean, but
Duck.
would that be a duck? I'm not saying that is his
No,
plans
listen,
or it's
listen.
not his
I don't know
plans.
what y'all.
Do
I
you
don't know
think
what
that's a
y'all.
duck?
Listen, I don't know what y'all consider ducks, right?
And
But
what?
I don't just run around calling people ducks. I
Okay,
don't
but look,
call
And what
you trying to make
situation
a
would you
fight.
call
Hold on,
somebody a duck?
I don't call somebody trying to make a fight with me at the wrong time or it's not the right time because it's all about timing. If
what's the
I'm
wrong
got
time? They both free.
hold on, if I got a plan or something that I'm trying to do, and you come at me and then you like you want to fight, and I'm like, nah, then no, it's not a duck, right? And you've already
Not around here. Not around here. I ain't believing it, man. It's not moving me.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
we've already been Rolly's already been talking about this pack fight, his like we've already been hearing these conversations about Rolly even before the Devin fight. So he's
Yeah,
obviously
okay.
already been trying to get that together. So now all of a sudden Devin fight, and then it's like, oh, I want Rolly next, and then Rolly's supposed to drop everything he got going on to fight Devin. No, that don't mean it's a duck. He already got something he's trying to
Yeah,
do.
whatever. But does this make sense? Let me
Yeah, I
explain
know
this
it's
to you too,
whatever. I
since
know it's whatever.
let me say this to you and see if this makes sense to you. Why wouldn't Rolly take the fight? Look, so you got the WBO belt. They don't have mandatories until 18 months out. That's basically every 2 years. Then
Because
you
I'm
got
trying to
wait,
get
wait, I'm
a
not done.
Pacquiao
I'm not
fight.
done. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. Then you got the WBA. If you unify, you become a WBA super. Then you have no mandatory at all. So why wouldn't he take that route where he'll have no mandatories for damn near up to 2 years for the WBO, and he will have no mandatory at the WBA? It's a win-win situation. Like I don't get it.
Well, I can't speak for Rolly because I don't know. But if I had to guess, I would say he probably would be more interested in fighting a legend like Manny Pacquiao, because
A
nobody give a
legend.
fuck about them belts, is what I keep trying to tell y'all.
Uh-huh. Yep. And that legend, I don't that fight don't sell. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. We still ain't got the Barrios numbers. What's the Barrios numbers? If that's so, pretty sure that didn't sell either.
You said the Barrios?
I don't think it's sold. What's the numbers for it?
I mean,
Would you rather fight if Devin had an option of fighting a legend or fighting
No, I
Rolly?
wouldn't want him to fight Pacquiao. That's easy work. He would kill Pacquiao.
look, Pacquiao need to sit down somewhere, man.
Yeah, bro. Why would I want him to fight an old ass
He
man?
getting in the way. He
I don't
getting
Man,
in the
want.
way of
Pacquiao's a
title
legend. What
shots and
Yeah, he a
unifications
legend,
and all of
and
that
I don't
stuff.
want to see a legend get beat up.
Hold
Devin
on.
beat him up.
This the thing though. Any other time y'all be talking against Pacquiao getting in the way, you know what I'm saying? Just coming up and getting in the way of unifications and good fights that y'all want to see. When Pacquiao was about to fight Barrios,
Okay. So
wasn't you cooking? Wasn't you saying
let's
Pacquiao didn't
take
have
it
to
like
fight?
this.
Didn't
Let's look
he
at
had
it
no
like this.
business fighting them and he need to sit down and all that?
Why would Rolly risk losing his belt to Devin if he's trying to get a Manny Pacquiao fight? How about that
Cause
perspective?
Devin gonna bring him more money. That's why. Let's
So
tell the
If
truth.
he fight Devin, Turkey gonna be involved.
He gonna get more money fighting Devin. That's
And
why.
we know Turkey giving these fighters the bag.
we don't know that, but
No, we do
Yes,
know
we
that.
do know that. Don't play dumb.
so maybe that's, I mean, I'm just saying, maybe that's his plan. Maybe he don't want the turkey bag. Maybe he'd rather keep his belt
Yeah,
and
cause
not risk
you
losing
know
it,
why
because
he
Rolly trash, so he ain't gonna be shit without the
yeah
belt.
you
So he need to keep the belt because he
uh-huh
trash. So if he want to be able to keep moving through the division while he trash and get fights, he don't need to fuck with Devin because he need to keep
yeah
his belt. So there you
mm-hmm
go.
yeah. You want to know why he not messing with Turkey no more? Cause you got to be a dog to go over there.
No,
Devin gonna
because
put you.
Turkey
Yes, you.
tried to
Yep.
fuck over Rolly. That's
You
why he
got
not
it. You
messing
got
with
it.
Turkey
Yeah.
no more. Y'all acting like
Whatever.
Rolly didn't come out and say
Whatever.
he had a bad experience working with Turkey.
Uh huh.
He definitely said that. So you
Okay.
could understand why he wouldn't want to work with Turkey no more, correct?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he'll treat him like a king messing with Devin. Cause Ramirez didn't say nothing. Brian Norman said he got the best treatment of his life, and you get
He already
comfort to
mistreated
lose to
Rolly though.
Devin. I don't know. I don't. That's Rolly. I don't really know. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just telling you, Rolly came
I
out and
mean,
he said
yeah.
that they didn't pay
I'm
for
not
his
calling him
hotel and
I'm
all
not
this other
calling him a
shit.
liar.
So Rolly didn't have the best experience working with Turkey. So maybe
Yeah.
y'all saying him going to work with Turkey, that might not be as enticing to him anymore, considering the experience that he had when he did work with Turkey. So that
Well,
might be another thing y'all might want to take into
yeah.
consideration.
Well,
So
yeah.
the more and more we talk
Have
about
fun
this, it's
ducking.
almost sounding like it would be a good idea for Rolly to quote unquote duck Devin, because it seems like he has
Quote
all to
unquote.
lose
Yeah.
if he
Well, tell
does
him to
fight
have
Devin.
Wait, so
fun.
So
you
it doesn't even make
condoning
any sense for
Yeah,
ducking?
him
she
to do that.
condoning it. She condoning it because she want Rolly to duck and not make no money. Cause
Yo, this crazy.
he ain't make no real money over there.
This crazy is becoming a trend. A lot of the Tinkerbells is just condoning these fighters ducking Devin Haney, man. What's
Bro, I
going on?
told you where it is, man. It's protect black champions over there. That's
I
what it
mean,
is.
they getting different. I mean, they've been different, but y'all, that's different. To just say
Yeah,
it's
man.
okay for somebody to duck, to just
Bro,
okay somebody's duck.
Devin will run the PBC table, and I guarantee you, because I don't know, whoever win this fight with Ryan Garcia or Barrios, let's just say
I mean,
Barrios
y'all
win.
giving
Let's
Devin
just
a
say
lot of
let's
credit for trying to run through the weakest division. That's
yeah.
trash that
Well,
everybody
I
keeps
mean,
saying.
Is a
whatever.
duck is a duck a
Yeah,
good is a
because
duck a good thing? A duck has become a good thing now, it sound like.
yeah,
For
it's weak
y'all
because
to just
Devin
openly
up
say,
there. I
oh yeah,
know.
it'll be better for this person to duck him. You know what I'm saying? To get a big fight with Pacquiao a
And I
couple
told
fights
y'all
away.
this, bro. I
Yeah,
told y'all
this
this.
is
I told
boxing. Y'all know that's how this shit go. Why y'all being
yeah,
silly?
whatever. That
That's
makes sense.
crazy. You
And
know
I
what? It
told y'all
was that
this
kind
years
of
ago.
energy floating around a little bit with the Frank Martin thing or whatever. When Frank Martin so-called ducked Shakur Stevenson, people were saying before we even knew that he was about to fight Tank, people was already saying, yo, if he fighting Tank, then that's not a duck. So now, I mean, it's even more extreme now because you got to fight in between
The problem
the
is y'all
person.
keep wanting to call everything a duck. That's what I'm saying. Like everything's not a duck. People not gonna drop
Yeah,
everything they
they
fucking
duck
doing
at
to fight
Devin. We
Devin
So
know.
Haney.
nothing is
That's just what's that's just
but
how
y'all
it's
want to
gonna be.
taking it to the
But
extreme. I think know
if
what I
they
think
ain't
it
got
is. I think it's so many people ducking Devin that y'all want to
Ain't
take it to the
nobody fucking
extreme.
ducking Devin. That's what
Y'all
I'm
want
about
to
to
take it to
try
the
to get
extreme and
straight.
say nobody ducking
Nobody's
him.
ducking Devin. The nigga just came back and he get one
Rolly is
fight.
ducking
Now
him.
all of a
Rolly
sudden
ducked him.
everybody ducking him. No, y'all do this shit every time Devin Haney got a fucking fight. Every
let
single time
roll
Devin
Devin
Haney
don't
got
got
a
no
fight.
fight right now. He
After the
don't
fight,
got no fight. He
everybody
Rolly
trying to
ducking
fight
ducking
him.
Devin,
Rolly.
bro.
No,
He trying to
Rolly
fight
no.
ducking him.
Rolly. What fight he
Rolly
got?
ducking him.
How the fuck
Rolly
Rolly
don't
ducking
gotta
him 2
fight.
days after he just fought Norman? That shit don't even make
Rolly
sense,
is
bro.
free.
Rolly don't
Rolly
duck.
is free
Rolly
now.
ducking
Devin
him.
didn't take no damage fighting Brian Norman Jr. He won. He called Rolly out. He trying to fight Rolly. He trying to fight Rolly on the same card that Ryan Garcia is fighting Barrios. What's the problem?
It's
I
no
don't
problem.
understand that. It's
They
a duck.
condoning ducking.
They try to throw out the excuse with the Pacquiao, and then the WBA came out and said he
So,
ain't fighting no
if
Pacquiao
Shakur
because
don't
he
want,
got a
if Shakur don't
mandatory
want to fight
fight.
Devin,
He
is
got a
Shakur ducking
mandatory
too?
fight, so he can't
If
fight the
Shakur don't want to
Pacquiao
fight
fight.
Devin, is Shakur ducking too? If Shakur don't want to fight Devin without a rehydration clause, is Shakur ducking too?
I mean,
Yes. He's
I
scared.
don't really
I
say, I
do.
don't really say, hold on. I always see that's one of my rules. I don't say that a person can't duck somebody
No,
that's in a different
no,
weight
hell no.
class.
Frequent, you
A
jumping
person can't
No.
duck somebody from a different weight class. That's my whole thing. That's
Say
why I
I
what?
said
said,
Gary Russell
I
Jr.
said,
That's why I said
You
Gary
said
Russell
what?
Jr. didn't
Wait,
duck Devin
frequent.
because
You
he was
said
in
a
a different
person
weight
can't
class.
what? You said a person can't what?
A person can't duck a person that's not even in his weight class. So being that Tank, you know what I'm saying, he's around that weight class. We don't know exactly where he at now because he was supposed to have been moving up to 195, a 195 catch weight. Shout out to my Aki, Claymore Rain, with that clarification right there. Assalamu alaikum, Aki. He said that Tank was about to fight in a catch weight of 195 with Jake Paul. So, we don't know where he at now, just like with the Boots thing. When Boots' last fight was at 147, Boots came out and said he was going to 154. And so Devin and them, that fight with Devin uh was presented to him at that time and between that time, but he still didn't fight at 154 yet. So but we know, so since we know that he was going up to 154 or whatever. So we justify for him that, he wanted to fight Devin around 152 at a catch weight or something around there because he was already gaining weight to try to move up to 154. He didn't want to come to 147. Same thing applies with Tank. He was already trying to go up to 195, a 195 catch weight with Jake Paul. The fight got pulled from under him, so he's already caught in transition of trying to get up there. So he's bigger than 135. He's not at 135. I know y'all want to argue that because that was where his last fight was at, but the same thing applies to Boots then. Boots' last fight was at 147. We can't have it one way with Boots and then another way with Tank. See, and
yeah,
that's the problem
but
y'all be having.
frequent.
Y'all don't be consistent.
But frequent. Reason why I say Shakur is ducking if he used that rehydration clause is because for months he was saying, "Yeah, I'll go up there and fight Conor Ben." He wasn't talking about no rehydration clause. He literally just started saying that shit because people start calling his ass out like, "Oh, you'll fight Conor Ben at 47, but you wouldn't fight Devin." So he added that, "Oh, I have to do a rehydration clause on both of them so he wouldn't sound scary." Even though you are, bro, because you always say you got the best of Devin and shit like that, and oh, his reach don't mean nothing, his weight don't mean nothing. Now it means everything because he'll be stronger than you. Shit, he was gonna be stronger than you at 140. He was gonna be stronger than you at 135, even when he was drained. So what are you scared of now?
Yeah, but that's he was just talking though. It was just talk. You know what I'm saying? I was cooking Shakur for that too, because he was saying at first he was saying he'd fight Conor Ben and all of that at 147, but he wouldn't fight Devin there, but now he switched it up a little bit, or you can say he clarified it a little more. Let me say that before the Shakur fans start going crazy. But he clarified kind of when he was on the interview at the Breakfast Club. He said that he was going to fight Conor Ben at a catch weight too. He said he was trying to fight Conor Ben at a catch weight similar to what Conor Ben did to Eubanks Jr. And so he asked the question. He said, "Would Devin accept that same rehydration clause?" He don't know. So I really don't call that a duck because he not in that weight class. At this point, we just
No,
speculating
we
because
can't.
he entertaining moving up to that weight class to fight somebody else, but he's really not at that weight class though.
Nah, but freak, we can't even say that because this is the same dude, Shakur Stevenson. Even though I rock with Shakur, I support him all his fights. But this is the same dude that said, that was soft when Tank put a rehydration clause on Ryan. Didn't he not say that? I heard him say it. So don't change your mind now because it's a bigger threat.
I mean, even if he do change his mind, I still wouldn't call that a duck just because of the fact he's not in the same weight class. I'm a strong believer in that. You can't duck somebody that's in a different weight class. Because that's like when Tank was talking about Bud, saying that Bud had a glass jaw, and he was talking what he would have done and everything to Bud. And then when Bud called him out and told him, "Come on up there," Tank said he was just playing, he was just joking. You know what I'm saying? So I don't call that a duck
But
because
then he
he had a
also
total
said,
different weight class. We would have to call that a duck if he was going by that logic. But I don't
no,
think
I,
that's a
I
duck
get
though.
that. I get that. But he also said he not too small for 147 because he was beating up Sean Porter.
I mean, we heard that for years now how Tank spar heavyweights and all of that stuff. But I mean that's just talk. I just throw that out there, to mess with all of the Tank fans, the radical Tank fans who be, running around saying that Tank can knock out anybody. They be thinking like Tank Superman. He had knocked this person, he had knocked that person out. It was a lot of people out here saying that he had knocked Bud out before Bud called him out. You know what I'm saying? This one dude used to always say that that's the fake fight right there that we need to see. We need to see Bud and Tank. When Bud was at 147 and Tank was all the way at 135, and we like, come on, man, ain't nobody want to hear because they in a different weight class. So I don't, I
Yeah.
don't really I don't really call that a duck when they're in a different
But
weight
my only
class. I think
problem
that's
is they gonna want to try to say, "Oh yeah, Devin clout chasing." When it's not a clout chasing. They both free right now. They ain't got nothing to do. Why not fight, bro? You was just finna fight at 195 pounds.
I mean,
Is
yeah,
Devin that
I
big of
say
a
that.
threat? Like, is he
Yeah, I
that big
say
of a
that with
threat?
Tank. I say that with Tank, but I'm saying as far as Shakur though, I'm saying I can't call that a duck. I don't call that a duck.
Nah,
Just
I
like you
will
said
if
you
he
ain't
go.
calling that a duck with Tank either. You said it's a duck pending.
Nah, it's a Doug Pending because he ain't say nothing yet. But if he don't, if it's 2 3 weeks and he don't say nothing, shit, we know what it is.
I mean, you can argue and say that if Tank come out and show that he's well under weight to be, going up to 147 or something like that. If he showed himself on the scale and he's at 140 or below or whatever, I don't know. I feel like, he could probably get away with that.
Nah, but I
Because
can't
he
I
under
can't let him get away
147.
with that. I
If he
can't.
anywhere under 147, then he can get away with it. But if he at like
Nah,
158 or something like that, you know what I'm saying? No, you can fight Devin right now, bro. You was about to fight Jake Paul, fight Devin. You already think
nah,
he can't punch.
nah. I
You know
can't
what I'm
let him get
saying?
away
So
with. Nah, I can't let him get away with that because his fans said he the best fighter from 135, well 147 and down. I know people remember people saying that. So
my
shit,
guy
test your luck.
Cornelius, what's up? You want me to bring you up now? You got your camera on. All right, I'm gonna bring you
I
up.
ain't got a problem with my camera on, player. Sure.
What's good with you, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Ain't nothing, man. I had
I
to
want
rinse
to
you up real quick. I got my other guy, Ray Davis.
appreciate that. My question, this is what I
You gotta turn your phone down or something. It's too
for me.
loud. It's echoing. Yes, it's repeating.
Okay, is it better? I don't know.
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, now, do I think do I? And I'm a Tank fan. Do I think Tank should move up to fight Haney? Of course, especially if Tank can get it his way. But at the same token, y'all are okay.
Wait,
Y'all Haney fan.
hold on 1 second, Cornelius. You said move up to fight Devin. Dude.
Yeah.
What you mean move up? He was about to fight Jake Paul. You mean move down to fight Devin?
Listen, man. Listen. If that's how you, if that's because you don't even know where Tank was coming in at to fight Jake Paul. Even
The
though
catch
Jake
weight
Paul,
was 195.
but you don't know where Tank was coming to though. That's the first thing. Okay, so so he didn't. So let's talk about what's going on now. He didn't do it. About to hell, I was about to not go to the federal penitentiary, but I did. So I can't say about to.
It was close to happening though, right?
Hold, but it didn't though. That's the thing. It didn't. So let's just talk about what is transpired, not what's about to.
Okay, that don't
Tank,
make the
okay,
weight
hold
disappear
on. Let me
off him though.
finish. Let me finish. Tank didn't. So currently he's at 135. So if it's okay for Tank to go to 147 to fight Haney, which I'm cool with that. I don't have an issue with it. Then that guy Digger Haney should go to 154 to fight Boots.
Why
Shit,
y'all
we
trying
ain't
to
even
push? Why y'all trying to push Devin
we
away
not
from Tank? We want to see
I
Tank
just
Boots.
said
fight
I'm
Devin.
okay with
Boots
it.
can
I
Boots can
just
lose
said
it anyway if he want
I
to.
just said I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. But what's good for the goose should
Yeah,
be
you
good for the
Hey,
gander.
right? Hey,
no
Devin
he
trying to
very
become
frequent.
under. Hold on, y'all. Devin
No
trying to
frequent. He
become
right.
undisputed. He's trying to become
But
undisputed.
he
So
can't be under
he
he can't be undisputed if he fight Tank because Tank don't have a belt.
No, he
no,
right frequent. He right.
that's not about Tank right there. I'm talking about him moving up to fight Boots. He's not going to move up to fight Boots because he's staying. The reason he's staying at 147 is because he's trying to become undisputed at 147. So you can't use the argument of saying he need to go up and fight Boots. No,
Don't,
there's a
don't,
reason
don't
why he's not going to do that. He's trying to fight at 147 to get up to get all the belts there to become undisputed. But if that don't happen, he's not able to do that, or he do accomplish undisputed, I'm pretty sure he's going to go up to 154 and entertain all of those guys up there. But right now, we can't push him away from. We can't use him going up to 154 to fight Boots as an excuse for Tank not to fight him right now, while Tank weighing in like 154 or something like that,
but
from
you
trying to get up
can
to the catch weight of
but
195.
you can when you sit up and say when you just sit up and say that Haney is going for undisputed, and I don't have no qualms with that. But if he's fighting for undisputed, then Tank shouldn't even be in his mirror
No, but
because
he
he
is
don't.
though.
And you're talking about weight, man. It doesn't. He don't have a. He
No,
does not have a belt.
hold on. I'm gonna let you rock, Ray. But let me say this one last thing. See, but the thing is with Tank and Devin, they're arch nemesis, bro. They 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 got a rivalry. It's a rivalry between those two. Devin was at 135 with Tank for years. Devin became undisputed in a division that Tank was in, where a bunch of people claimed that Tank was the best fighter. So Tank tried to say the belts don't mean nothing. You know, he wouldn't fight Devin. So, but it was always this rivalry between Tank and Devin and their fans. So to fight, that's kind of like I guess you could say it's like a grudge fight or whatever, with Devin having all these excuses of why he can't fight Tank. When he moved to 140, even before he went to 140, people were saying that Devin was too big. But once he went to 140, then that excuse came to light. People saying, "Oh, Devin is too big. They in different weight classes." So that been the thing that stop that fight from happening. People like, okay, it's water under the bridge. So I agree. I'll let it go. I'll let it go too, because I said, okay, Devin moved up. He ain't worried about Tank. Forget about Tank. Let him worry about Shakur because he down here. But now Shakur moved up, and even Tank was about to fight at 195. So why?
See,
So
that's what
if
you
so,
keep
so this is
saying,
the
but I
last
just
glimmer of hope. This is the last glimmer of hope to possibly see that fight because a lot of people wanted to see that fight, didn't get to see it, but now Tank, if it's now or never. I don't think that if Tank was trying to get up to 195, it's a chance that he's weighing more than 147 right now. So why can't he just come back? That's what we saying. Why can't he come down to 147 and fight Devin on his way back to 135? On his way back
now
down.
let go. I gotta take
Oh
this
my
call.
bad. I tried to mute my own mic. I muted yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Jake. I think that, like I said, I think the Jake Paul, because it didn't happen. I think that is. I think that's neither here nor there, and you guys is hanging on that, and I don't think a person should be able to hang on something that didn't happen. But I would love to see the Tank fight at 147 or whatever, and I will bet whatever. That's I will bet whatever with Tank against whoever.
Mm,
That's my
I
thought
got that.
process on it.
Can, hey,
And with that, I gotta go.
Cornelius, I got a question.
Yeah, yeah,
You watch football?
yes.
Hey,
Who?
Ray,
Who
I
hold on,
gotta run do something. So
I
run
know,
it for a
real
second,
quick,
all
real
right,
quick.
Ray?
I got you. I got you.
Uh,
So who was to you and Joseph? You can jump in on this. Who you thought was a better quarterback, Joe Montana or Dan Marino?
Joe Montana.
Uh, I'm a 49ers fan, so I'm gonna go with Joe Montana.
Okay, didn't Joe Montana have all the championships and Dan Marino only had an MVP?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so what's the difference between Tank and Devin? Devin had all the belts and he wanted to fight this dude, and everybody wants to give all these accolades to Tank like he's the guy that needed to be at the top. You know what I mean? And hold on, and Devin had the belts, right? Tank did not. He had a secondary belt. So why is he getting all the praise of being the best? And he's the guy that everybody wants to say that, oh, he can't do this, he can do this, he can do that. But yet he never took on a challenge. The
I,
guy Devin was calling him out at 135. He stayed at 135 for Javante Davis. Javante Davis never accepted this fight. He also admitted to the public that Turkey sent them offered him a bag, and that when he offered him the bag, he wasn't going to take that fight over Riyadh because he knew how that fight would go if he didn't knock him out. So there was concerns there. He also said he didn't want to be a meme. So is it the fact that Javante Davis has a fear of losing, and because of that fear of losing, he never took a fight with Devin Haney? Now I'm not telling you that he wouldn't have beat Devin Haney because in my own mind, um, I think that Tank would have made a great fight against Devin Haney, and a strong possibility he could stop Devin Haney. So let's be clear on that. Now, as far as him moving 47, I'm not on that circus train. I don't really care about that. But my ultimate thing is we always look back and push back on this Devin Haney can't do this, Devin Haney can't do that. Y'all, a lot of Tank fans, and you tell me if I'm correct, and I'm moving the needle just a little bit. Weren't y'all saying that Devin only collected all the belts off of one person? Now the man's trying to go get every single belt, and now he's getting pushed back. Like, oh, he can't go get the belts now because he has an opportunity to get them all. Does he hold the control of who has the belts? Is that his fault that Barrios has the belt, former Tank opponent? Rolly has a belt, former Tank opponent. That's not his fault, right? He's just trying to get him. Lewis Crocker got a belt, and they don't even want him to fight him, but then they want to move him to Boots. Like Boots is a superhero for everybody's anti favorite fighter because Bud had to go down and go fight Boots because Boots is a superhero. Everybody brings up Boots. Boots is minding his business, and the fight was offered to Boots, and Boots said he didn't want to take it at the time. I'm not calling it a duck because a lot of people say it is. It's not a duck. He
all
just
right,
didn't
fellas,
want
I
to take
got
it
to
at the
go.
time.
I'm gonna go in the chat. I got to go
Yeah, yeah.
because I thought you was asking me a question, but you real long winded, and you asked me about
No, my
Tank.
bad. Go ahead, bro. I just wanted to ask that question though.
Yeah, you asked more than one right
No,
there
I
because
asked
you
you a
asked
question
about
and then I went on okay, go ahead.
because I missed the question. I think that from what I did hear you say about the Dan Marino and Joe Montana, I think that's two different. I think they don't coincide with boxing and football. I don't think they going to coincide. I've always been a supporter of Tank to fight Devin. I
I'm
think
with
that
that.
I think that Because like I told Frequent Fire, I used to fight dogs for a living. So that's my concept. The way I used to fight dogs is the way my concept is with boxing. So with that being said, is I do think Tank should have had fought him. Now, when Tank said he didn't care about the belts, he said that when Kambosos had the belts. Then I don't care about these belts.
Okay.
He didn't say it when Devin got it. He said it.
Yeah, he did.
He said it when Kambosos had it, and I
Then
will
he said it
bet
when
you,
Devin won
Right.
again. He said it when
Davis,
Devin
Ray
won
Davis,
You right,
again.
hold on,
though.
Ray Davis. I
I
will
hear you.
bet
You
you.
right.
I will bet you. I'm a gambling man. That's what I
He
do.
said it
And we
multiple
can let
times.
Frequent hold the money. He said it because Kambosos wanted to fight Tank.
Yeah,
Kambosos said,
then
I will come. Tank Kambosos said, I would. The only one I would come to America for is for Tank. And I know him to
yeah,
be sad. And then Tank said, man, I could care less about those belts.
uh-huh.
You did.
And then he said it again at the press conference with Devin when Devin Haney won the belts.
But he said it first with Kambosos. That's the
I'm
point
not
I'm
denying that.
making.
But you
That's
said
the
he didn't
point
say
I'm
it.
making. It wasn't
Yeah.
about that Devin had it or what. It was Kambosos. And
He
we all believe, or it should. I'm not gonna say we all believe, but I'm willing to bet that majority of us believe that Tank would have smashed Kambosos.
yeah, but he didn't.
Right, because he said he didn't care about you. Right, he didn't care about the belts.
Then he said it
Yeah.
again when Devin won the belts. He
I
said the
didn't
belts
say
don't
he.
mean
I'm,
nothing.
I'm saying I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is when he first said it, he said it
Yeah.
against
Yeah. You're right.
Kambosos. So we can't say that. I don't think that it's a fair statement to say, oh, he said it because Devin had it, like he's scared of Devin.
Shit, is
That's
he?
my point.
I
That's my
mean,
point.
It
you're,
looked
that's a
like
good
he is,
point.
though.
But can we also
Okay,
look
well,
at?
hey, listen. Everybody has their own thought process.
Yeah, you're
It
right.
is what it is, man. I got to go. I tell you
Yeah.
what, y'all, man. You could hit me up. You could timestamp this. If Tank ever fight Haney, I will bet whoever, whatever.
Okay, but Cornelius, before you go,
It's
uh,
Cornelius.
uh,
It's Cornelius.
my bad, my bad. I don't want to fuck up your name. That's disrespectful. But I don't know why y'all throw Boots in there. Like, Haney fans scared of Devin to fight Boots. Like, I got Devin beating Boots at any weight. I don't think
I
nobody's
bet
scared
that
of for
too. I
Devin.
bet that too.
I mean,
I
you
bet that
can,
too.
but I don't think nobody's scared of Devin to fight Boots at
Okay.
all. He
Okay.
can't cut the ring off.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Like
I
I'm
bet.
nobody's
Listen,
scared of
I'm a
nobody's scared of
gambler.
Boots like he did
I got I
superhero.
got I gotta go. But
Yeah.
listen, I'm a bet with who I'm a bet. I've won, I've lost, but I will bet whatever. That's what I do. So if Haney fights Tank, if he fights that nigga Boots, I'm taking the opposite and I will bet whatever. And I
Yeah, I
mean
mean,
whatever. And I
Okay.
mean
Well,
whatever.
salute to you.
All right.
Salute to
All
you.
right. All right, I
And I
gotta
Wait,
go.
before
appreciate
you
I
go,
appreciate
Cornelius,
the
ain't you supposed you in the Hanos clan now, right?
Man, that was temporary, baby.
I know. Yeah, I'm
content.
starting your
That was
membership right now, bro. I'm starting your membership right now. It
who it
wasn't
hey,
be?
listen,
official
hey man,
until
hey,
right
listen, man.
now.
Hey,
I
man,
want
that was
y'all. I
Holiday
want y'all to
special.
welcome our newest Hanos clan
This
member,
is a holiday special. That's
Cornelius
crazy.
Burnett. Yo,
Did he better
Funny, but
he picked Brian Norman or something? That's why he in it.
yeah. He said if Devin beat Brian Norman
I
Jr.,
did. I
I think he
did.
said
Damn,
if
why
he
they
knock him
do
down too,
what
and
No,
what
he
I
what
didn't
said
say
makes
I didn't
Nah,
say I didn't
listen,
say
he
man.
said
knock
he
down,
joining the
but
Let
I
this
Hanos
did
man
clan,
go. Let
bro.
this man get to his business, man.
but you're right, frequent. Hey man,
Y'all
I got
hold him up.
mad respect for that
I'll
for Haney doing what he did. I didn't think he was gonna do it. I'll be the first to say, God dig it, hey man, Haney did his thing. I'm not gonna say, oh, he should have finished him. No, man, dude won.
Hey man, hey
Dude
man,
won, man.
Ray Davis is our public relations
Yo, would you
guy,
stop
and
throwing me under the
he
bus, bro?
also run human resources. So I mean, in the back, he gonna send you your emblem. He gonna send you your emblem
Yo,
and
he
on all
bugging,
of that
bro.
stuff, bro.
Yo,
Hanos
he
clan, you
bugging.
in there, bro? You
He
in?
bugging.
Man,
Yo,
dude, hey man,
And
Haney did
later
his
yo,
on, we got
Cornelius, he tripping, bro.
Haney did
later
his
on, you got to
thing,
fight your
man.
way through a line of people. We all gonna have bats and stuff, man.
Yo,
But
he is
once
crazy,
we jump
bro.
you in, bro, you in.
Yo, go to your,
No, man, I'm gone, man.
go
Hey,
to
man,
your
y'all
thing,
be. I'm
Cornelius,
gone. I
bro.
gotta go. I gotta make
Hanos
this
clan,
call.
blood in, blood out. Salute, bro.
Yo,
All
this
right,
nigga.
man.
All right,
Salute.
Uh,
Luke, bro. You, yo, you
yeah.
funny, bro. You funny, you funny,
Yeah,
you
bro, we
funny,
got
bro.
another member.
Yeah, but
Yo,
I just
you
want
was
people to stop
hilarious.
bringing up Boots like we scared for Devin to fight
Well,
Boots. I don't
that's the
think
craziest
nobody in here
thing.
is
And like I
scared for
said, he's
Devin to
everybody
fight
super. He
Boots.
minded his
If he
business,
lose, he
man. Boots
lose.
has been
But
minding
shit,
his
I got
business
him winning.
since
I don't
Bud.
think Boots can beat him.
Huh? I think it's an interesting fight, and I think the favorite, even in my opinion, that Boots will be the favorite in that fight. But does Devin have a chance? Yes, because there's some flaws in Boots. We've seen Boots get touched. We've seen Boots fade in certain moments and not be able to do certain things that
Pause,
like
bro.
shut up. Um get lost in certain like when he can't cut off the ring, he gets frustrated and he just sticks to the guns. And what happened to Joseph? Um oh, all right. But all that, you know what I mean? We seen certain things in Boots. We see flaws in Devin too. Like we seen things that Devin did. And I even seen him doing the there's some stills, still dropping that hand a little bit on the jab. So it's not all the way fixed. So to say who would win that fight, we would have to see that fight first. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a guarantee Boots wins that fight, and I don't damn sure don't think it's a guarantee that Devin wins that fight. It's something that I think we would look at, you know what I mean, and be
It
interested
ain't
in.
no guarantee. It is definitely
But
ain't no guarantees, but
here's the
I just
thing.
got Devin winning.
Yeah, I know that's good. Listen, he's the better boxer, I can tell you that. Devin's definitely the more proven better boxer. Does that mean that Boots is not a good boxer? Absolutely not. That means that,
Nah,
you know what I mean, that's a good fight. And the reason why people want to see it, regardless of how you look at it, is the best fight in the best. Somebody mentioned that earlier, right?
yeah.
Amen. Okay, now we there. You know what I mean? So it's okay for him to go fight Boots. It's okay for him to fight. Who was the guy they was saying before? Karen Kukajan, which I think is a wash. Okay, I don't even know why
Yeah, I don't
people
even
bring
think
that up.
that's close.
Huh?
I don't think that's close because
That's
Karen
not.
won't be
No, it's
able.
not. It's a man.
Karen won't be able to be the
Not even
boxer
worth.
in that fight.
It's
Karen will
not
have to
even
walk
worth
forward.
watching that fight.
So
If Karen was so good, why did he fight Barrios and all these other people that he's ranked high in the sanctioning body for? If he was that good, he only fought Boots because he was a mandatory for the IBF. Why didn't he fight nobody else? How come nobody knew who Karen Kukajan? Yes, I said it correctly. Karen Kukajan. Why didn't he fight anybody else as a champion? Not Stanionis. Were they ducking Karen? Was everybody ducking Karen? Are we gonna
nah,
call
they
Barrios
ain't
a duck?
ducking Karen. They ain't ducking Karen,
We
man.
calling
They
Rolly a
just
duck? I'm just saying, we call
now. I
Stanionis a
do
duck.
think
We
Karen.
call
Karen
Brian
is
Norman a
a
duck. I'm just
nah.
saying, when they were all champions, why didn't Karen fight anybody else?
He wasn't able to at that
Thank
time.
you.
He wasn't high enough.
Oh
But
no, he was up there. He was in the top. He was in the top 10 everywhere. He
yeah,
remember his
I
guy was
think
like ranked number
yeah.
5 in the in the division at one point.
No, he
So
was. That's facts. But I'm talking about in every sanctioner body.
yeah, I
Like if we
mean,
break it
but
down.
regardless, he's
But
a fight, right? Why ain't nobody
not
screaming his name?
because he's not. It's not a. You know, for some people, it's not an attractive fight. Like
Exactly.
I don't like Brian Norman can't beat him. I don't see it
You don't think
at
Brian can
all.
beat Gary Gujon?
Nope. Nope. I don't see it.
I think Brian sleeps that boy, but
I mean that yeah, he could. I just don't see him catching him.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be a hard fight for Brian Norman Jr. because we know the
I
footwork that Karen got
but
is pretty good, and we know Karen got a little bit of pop too. So I think that he could pose the same issues for Brian Norman Jr. that Devin posed.
then I have to if y'all feel that way, then I have to agree with the fan base that thinks Devin and Karen will be a great fight and that they should fight each other.
No, well
Well,
this why I don't.
I think they'll be a good fight, but I don't think they should fight each other right now because it can't. What Karen got? Karen, if Karen get one of them
Well, I
belts,
get it.
yeah, he in the crosshairs then. But
Right.
Yeah, but
everybody just
this
talking about Devin should fight this person, that person.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
people just want him to
It's a
fight people
distraction.
all over the place. You know what I'm saying? We want to
but
see
this
Devin
why
accomplish what he's trying to accomplish. That's what.
yeah, but this why I don't think Karen will be a good fight for Devin because I think Devin will watch him because Karen can't be the boxer that he is fighting Devin Haney. You have to come forward. Like it's no choice. He's not a better boxer than Devin. Devin would just if he tries to box Devin, he's just gonna watch him 12 rounds to 0. So he has to come forward and try to win rounds, and that's not gonna end well for him.
Exactly. I agree
If,
with that too.
if we ever see this fight, Brian Norman versus Karen, mark my words, Brian Norman sleeps this dude.
And I
early.
wouldn't
I
I
don't
wouldn't be
Early.
think
No,
so.
not
surprised.
y'all. I'm just responding to the
I
Queen's
wouldn't be surprised if he did it. I wouldn't be
information.
surprised if he stopped him because he do got power.
I'm
But
gonna
I
tell you
just don't
why.
think he'll be able
Karen,
to catch him.
Karen,
I would be highly surprised because if Boots couldn't catch up with him, what makes you
that's
think
okay.
Brian Norman Jr.
Again, we
gonna
were
catch up
talking
with
about
him?
the flaws of Boots Ennis earlier, right? When I was telling you his flaws and why Devin has a possibility to beat him, is because he has these flaws.
Yeah,
Karen is
yeah, but
not doing that with Brian Norman because Brian Norman is not going to chase him around the ring, right?
what? You said
No,
Brian
no,
Norman
no.
not gonna
Listen to
chase
me.
him around the ring?
Brian Norman ain't chasing no. He gonna keep that shit in the middle of the ring, and if Karen backs up, he gonna try to walk him down and cut it off. He ain't gonna sit there and let him run around the ring and chase him.
No, I think that'll be a mistake for Brian Norman Jr. to try
Okay,
to fight Karen
okay.
in the middle of the ring.
I don't
I
know.
think he'll outbox Brian Norman Jr. I
Okay.
think Brian Norman Jr. is a front foot fighter. I think he
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 is.
he like a arrow. He like a
So
Timu
with
Errol
Earl
Spence.
Spence, I'm glad you said that. With Earl
He
Spence,
like a he like a
will
lower
Earl,
tier
no, no,
Errol
no. Will Earl
Spence, man.
Spence beat Brian Norman? I mean, Karen Kukijan?
Yes.
I think Earl got stronger. The attributes that Earl got that Brian Norman also
But
have, I
they're the
think
same fight.
Earl is better at those things. Everything that Brian Norman Jr. do, I think Earl do better,
Okay.
except for maybe the power. I don't know about the power.
Okay.
We don't
So,
know about the
okay.
power actually.
Okay. Fair enough. So you're saying that Brian Norman does everything B level of Earl Spence, but the same thing, but he has more power. So to me,
I said the
what? Hold
power.
on.
We don't
What
even
does?
know about the power.
I
Maybe
know. Right. 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 No, I'm just saying. So to me, why would that not be pinnacle for Brian Norman then? Or what
No, I
make
would.
what would make Karen Kukijan so much better against Brian Norman? Forget about all the things that you're saying, right? Give me your points. I'm writing this stuff down. I want to make sure because I
No, you're
damn sure
right.
don't
He
think
might
that he.
he might
because
he
because
might
we
catch
saw
up to him and beat him. Like
because we
it's a
saw
it's a
because
high
we saw
possibility.
we saw Brian Norman Jr.'s flaws and the
Okay,
way
but
that
was it?
he
But
fought Devin Haney. Now, if he approached the fight a different way than he approached Devin Haney, because
okay,
I really think that with Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr. ain't really had they don't seem like they had a game plan.
Yeah,
It
but
seemed like
Karen
they
ain't
just thought they
Devin
was
though.
gonna come out there and run
Karen
over
ain't
Dev, and
Devin.
Dev can't
I
punch and
think
all of that
I
stuff.
think they had a game plan.
Karen
I
ain't
think I
Devin though.
think I think it was handicapped. I think Devin shut that shit down early with that knockdown, broke his nose, and that changed the whole game plan.
Yeah,
You had
but I
nothing
don't
but
know if
I'm
Karen.
moving
You right,
forward.
Ray. You right. I don't know if Karen will be able to handicap him like Dev did. That is a because he's
I
not
think there's a
Devin. I don't.
difference. I think there's a difference
Yeah.
in
But
boxing.
the thing is, after we saw Devin do that, then we saw Devin do what Karen can do. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Keep him at distance. Keep him at
Devin didn't
distance.
move
Stop
in
his.
that fight barely.
Yeah, he
So
stayed there,
like
bro.
I'm
he
saying
stayed
as far.
there. So
I'm saying as far. We saw Boots versus Karen too.
Okay,
no, we
so
The
did,
second
but we
fight.
know
Boots.
we know.
Karen didn't run around in that fight either. He fought just like Devin fought Brian Norman Jr.
Uh,
in that fight.
he
He
got
fought
caught.
Boots like that. And now
At,
Boots almost stopped him, but he was smart. He grabbed Boots. He held him and all of that. But Boots ain't get him out of there. He
at what
fought
time did he hurt Boots with those pitter patter punches? Right, we're talking
never.
about
He
pillow fight.
never hurt. He
Okay,
never hurt Boots.
so at what point is Brian Norman going to be hurt by anything Karen Kukajan throws?
Bro, Karen was throwing some heat.
Okay, but
It's
he
not
never
that
hurt Boots,
he
right?
didn't hurt. It's not that he didn't hurt Boots because he couldn't punch. He couldn't hurt Boots because Boots got a granite chin. He hit Boots with
Oh,
some stuff.
Boots.
That's
Oh,
why. That's why people were saying, "Yo, Boots get hit too much and this and that and third." He was catching Boots with
okay,
some
so Boots
shots, bro.
finished and stopped. Unbelievable. Okay, pause.
And that's the thing. We know that Boots got a granite chin.
We know
Brian
that.
Norman chin has always been. That was the thing that I was saying coming into the fight. Brian Norman chin is questionable to me because we saw a C-level fighter floor him with a right cross. And
What's his
Devin
name?
did the same thing, just like I was saying. I said if Devin hit him with that right cross, he might go down. And what happened? Devin caught him with the right. I admit that the left hook stunned him first, but
Okay.
then he tried to throw the left hook again and came with the right cross, and it floored him just like the last time. It's almost the same thing,
Yeah,
same
yeah, but
punch.
we I got Karen winning too frequent. But what I'm not finna say is that Brian Norman can't catch up because it is a possibility he can catch up because even though Karen feet not that fast. Boots just literally can't cut the ring off. That's what I seen from 2 fights. Even when Karen was kind of backing up in the second half of the fight, he has no way of cutting the ring off. Now Brian
Hey, look
Norman,
what
he
two
can
cents
cut the
said.
ring off a little bit.
Hey, I agree with what 2 cents. Look, Karen stopped his last opponent.
Okay, since and you know
You know
what's
what I'm
so
saying?
funny?
So
I'm gonna say this too for all the detractors that throw Devin's name in shade, right? And they always kick the backs in of European fighters. So who is the fighter he stopped? Who knows the fighter he stopped? Right? We're gonna switch that up.
What is she saying that like he gonna stop
No, no, no.
Devin?
Jonathan,
Shit, he
hold on,
can't stop
Jonathan.
Devin.
Jonathan, check this out. No, no, that's not what she's saying. She's saying that he has
Oh,
power enough to stop people. But my point
well,
is,
maybe.
when we say these things, right? Remember when we said, "Oh, this guy in Europe, who is he? Where'd he come from? Who is he? Okay, he beat some bum over there. So did he just beat some bum over there, or is he really powerful enough to stop anybody he gets in the ring with? I'm just saying we can't have it both ways when we say all Europeans are bum fighters.
Ain't nobody sleeping on
No,
Karen 2 cents. He can't, Boots just couldn't cut the ring off. That's what it is. Like he can't cut the ring off. Shit, he ain't showed he could. So I gotta believe what I seen.
I mean, I'm good though. Look, it don't really fathom me either way. I still think Brian Norman stops that man. I think he catches up to him. He puts him in a situation where that hook comes across and drops him. I mean, it's a fight though, right? We will have to wait and see. Matter of fact, I am going to somehow, some way contact Mr. Norman and tell him I think that fight need to happen next.
hey, anybody could hit the link because I'm not gonna stay on for much longer. I gotta go do something in a minute. But I just put the link out there for anybody who had something to say. Anybody want to say something? But go ahead, Ray.
No, that was it. But so anyway, this belt thing, man. I wanted to ask that question about this belt thing because Devin's trying to chase greatness, right? The fan base was saying that Devin took all the belts off of one guy in order to get undisputed. Now the guy's trying to show the world that he can go after any belt. Like I said, it doesn't matter who has the belt; they're champion. The champion is a champion. You're going to criticize the champion because he got the belt. So you're saying that was a fluke that he got the belt, but that same champion beat the guy that y'all claim beat Devin. And that guy didn't even rematch the guy that beat him. Mr. Ryan Garcia refused to rematch Rolly Romero, right? He refused to fight Devin first and then refused to rematch and then said he broke his hand. So which one is it? We're hearing a lot of the hoopla, jumping through
I'll
hoops, as
tell
they
you what
say.
it is.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what it is. They just a little bit butthurt because they think it's too easy for Devin. And I'm not gonna lie
But,
here.
okay,
Rolly
so they're giving
trash.
him credit,
Devin,
Joseph. Hold on,
no,
Joseph. Say it
wait,
again.
Devin.
They think it's too easy for him?
No, they really do, and I do. I think Devin
So,
run the table
so
to
you're
47.
telling me that Devin, that Debo that they say, that Bill say, right? He that bad, what you call it? Yeah, exactly.
No, they know he
Motor
is. They
scooter,
just
right?
don't.
He
They
that
don't want
bad
to
motor
admit it.
scooter out there.
A bad
Yeah,
motor
they don't want.
scooter.
They don't. They
That's what
don't
he
want to
said,
admit
right?
that he is a bad dude.
I mean, that's
So
what
they
they
gonna
doing when
say.
they say that it's too easy of
So
a
they gonna
fight.
say
His
y'all said
opponent,
Rolly trash. Y'all said Rolly trash. No, he got a bill.
listen,
Devin want to fight
Devin
him.
said
Rolly
Rolly was
is
trash. There was a
trash.
few people. There was a
Yeah,
few people that called him trash.
and
Yes,
I'm
I
calling
didn't
him
call him
trash
trash.
right
I
now.
called him
No,
trash.
no,
I called him
I'm
trash.
saying it. I'm saying it. Crocker
But that
trash.
don't
I
mean
Rolly
agree.
that
I
he
trash,
never
can't
called
and
fight. That
Rolly
don't
Barrios.
mean
shit.
that he shouldn't fight him to take the belt from him.
Rolly had two belts, man.
And Devin can
And
beat them all.
Rolly had two belts. He had a WBA.
One. I don't count that one at 140. That's
Why not? He
bullshit.
had it.
Yeah,
He won it.
shit.
He
Hey
Round
yo,
won
robin.
one last thing I want to talk about though before we go though. I don't think Shakur coming back down, bro. People
it.
talking about Shakur
Yeah, I don't
coming
think
back
so either.
down to 135 to fight
He
O'Shaquie
got to.
Foster and all of that.
He
Jackie already
got
moved
to.
back
I don't
down.
think if
Nah,
Shakur talking about because if Shakur talking about he about to fight Teofimo at 140, right? But then after this, he talking about entertaining fighting Conor Ben at 147 with a catch weight, he said. And he said he'll fight Devin there too. It looked like he's moving towards going up, not going back down. I don't understand
Well,
why people think he's gonna come back down to 135. I think
because
he about to let that belt go.
he got
Especially if he
to.
don't got the
let's
belt, he
let's
ain't coming back down.
so the
No, he got
reason
to come
why
back down because he got to get out of Keyshawn way.
So
You know,
this
they
is
two buddy
No, he
buddy.
said he said he gonna get a belt. The Keyshawn. Then he said, I thought I heard
this is
that he was gonna get a belt up and move up to 140
That's
and
what
fight at
this is
147.
the reason
he
he
said. He
but he
might, or
never
he might
said
go back down. I
yeah,
think
he
he
never
gonna go back
said
down.
I think he playing around with that going back down stuff,
I
man.
think he's
I
He
back
don't.
and
really
forth.
about to fight Conor Ben, I
Nah,
think.
listen, I'm gonna tell you what it is. He's back and forth on his decision. He hasn't made a solid decision. He's entertaining the money right now. He's looking for the opportunity to make the biggest, best fights because this is what it's about, right? At the end of the day, whether you have the belt or not, let's be
Hold
clear.
on, Ray, hold it down for a minute, all right?
Yeah, let's be clear.
Oh, good.
Regardless of which way you have it, beating the best fighting the best at the end of the day, the biggest names fighting the biggest names. We'll say that instead of the best fighting the best because some people get butthurt about that. So the biggest names fighting the biggest names at the end of the day sell tickets and they make people want to watch the fights because everybody wants to see who's the better fighter at the end of the day. So if Shakur goes into that arena and Shakur decides that he wants to fight Devin because he feels that Devin's a better a big fight, then he's going to make that fight. If he feels Conor Ben's a big fight, he's going to make that fight. If he feels that he has to go back down and Tank offers him a fight at 135, then he'll go make that fight. But it seems like at the end of the day, what we're seeing Shakur do is not wait for certain fights to happen and go chase the fights that can happen. At the end of the day, that's what we have to be looking at and understand that Shakur doesn't have to go back down if he doesn't want to, but if he would like to, he can. And if he wants to move forward and he wants to be at 140 and fight and stay at 140, he can do that too. You know what I mean? He called out the Russell, Antoine Russell. He called out Matias and said he'll stop that dude from doing what he's doing, not stop him physically in the ring, but he said he'll take his power away. So when you hear Shakur talk that he's that, you know what I mean, that he's that guy, he's because he believes he's that guy. So when he's talking about moving up to fight other fighters at 47, I mean, he did put restrictions on because he's not a true 47 guy. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people are saying, oh, he looks like he's 175. And I've been telling y'all, Shakur's about walking around 160 all the time. He's been a walk around 160. A lot of these guys are. But at the end of the day, he doesn't fight there. And there's a reason why he doesn't fight there.
Yeah, but I just don't like that he can't go backtracking shit like that. Years
He's
ago,
just
he was
throwing it
saying,
out there.
wait, he said, I'll beat Devin Haney at any weight. Shit don't matter. I've always been better than Devin. Now Devin, he at 47 and he looking like he man. It's like, hold on now.
I
That's
mean,
exactly what he doing. And then he did it at 140. Everybody forgetting. He was like, Devin too big at 140. He was saying the shit when Devin was at
yeah, I
140.
know, but you got to remember, you know what I mean? He's celebrated, right? He's selling wolf tickets like any other fighter. Every single fighter sells wolf tickets. That's how they get their names up and they become big fighters, especially great fighters. So if he's selling those tickets, it may come true. Like at the end of the day, the money is the name of the game. The prize fighting, the belt is something that you collect, and on the way of collecting all the money that you can gain in the fight. So there's nothing wrong with him chasing the money. You know what I mean, to prove that he's the best and go after the best.
Hey, Two Sizzle, you saying Devin a monster? That's what you saying? Weight classes for a reason. You telling them niggas don't go mess with that monster, huh?
um, I mean, Devin looked great at 47, right? So I mean, it's a hard bargain to see that, you know what I mean, see anything different than him trying to take over that division and wait for guys to either move up or him going to 147. So I mean 154. It is what it is. I mean, I don't. He
Yeah,
said he
the
and
new
mark my
thing.
words. I'm going to put this out there too because Devin said he'll fight anybody from 140 to 147. He's going to be playing around in that weight class. This is after the Ryan loss or no contest. He said he's done playing games with the weight. Anywhere from 140 to 147, he's taking on all comers. He literally said that. So he also has to be honorable in his words on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it was
I ain't
it was
got
what
the
it,
I ain't got the link here for boxing. Frequent do. You gotta come back. They gotta let you in unless you hear me. He gotta drop put you up.
nah, for sure. He definitely did say that.
Yeah.
But all the fighters that he talking about fighting, they talking about we gonna come up there and beat Devin. Shit, Richards and Hitchison. Gary Russell said Devin ain't shit. I'll beat him at 147.
Yeah,
So
they
we
all
we
said
hear
it.
all
They
these
all
dudes saying
you right.
we hear all these dudes saying that, but None of them putting a name in the hat to go up to 47. I find that
I
odd.
agree. I agree with that. You know
Y'all
what I mean? I'm
saying
not
he
taking
ain't
that.
shit at 147, but
I'm
y'all
definitely
know where
not
he
going
is.
to. I am not going to take anything away from you saying that at all. You know what I mean? I'm a devil advocate type person. When I talk on these YouTube streets, I do try to bring as many facts as possible. I try to leave my opinions out unless I'm asked. I know a lot of people otherwise think and say and why. I will drop an opinion in a conversation of things to bring some fantasy points, but like everybody does, pause on that too. But at the end of the day, we have to bring the realness of what it is. What people, if you're going to talk about what people say, we also got to talk about what people have done. So that all plays its part.
Yeah, but I don't understand why people so scared of Devin right now. And then the fans so scared they like, oh, go up and
I,
fight somebody at 54 when Devin not scared to go to
I'm a,
54.
I can
Bill
give
already
you
said he
exactly the
looking
reason
at
why.
Xander. Bill already said he looking at Xander's ass.
Can I
You
give you?
wouldn't be looking at him if you ain't thinking about it.
Can I give you the reason
No,
why?
for sure. For sure.
So remember when Shakur moved up and fought Yokozuna
Yeah.
at 135, and nobody was taking the fight because he looked so spectacular. I mean, Pitbull was like, nah, I don't want to fight this guy. Da, da, da. He called out everybody. He ended up even getting in the ring with Dev.
Yeah.
So everybody was calling him the boogeyman. So from perspective, everybody said he was the boogeyman at 135. A lot of people didn't want to fight him. A lot of people seen that talent. It took forever for him to even get a fight at 135 after the Yoshino fight. You know what I mean? And that was a guy in what's the dude Frank Martin beat up? I don't know why I can't think of his name.
Artem.
Artem, thank you. Right? And then he took that fight. And then people were still like, yo, this guy ain't fighting nobody. Actually, was it De Los Santos first, then Artem? I think it was De Los Santos first, then Artem.
Yeah,
Because I
De Los
think
Santos first,
it
then
was De Los
Artem.
Santos. De Los
Because
Santos was the only one that was trying to get in the
Devin
ring
had
with him.
sent him. You're right, because Devin had sent him that contract.
Right.
Shit
De
like
Los
that
Santos was the
happened.
only one trying to get in the ring with him at that time, which is crazy because he was calling him out. And then Artem, and then you know what I mean. We seen how that train rode on the tracks, and now Devin's got that same popularity to the fan base as Joe. Ain't nobody at 47 beating this guy. You know what I mean? There are people there that make a worthy fight, but you know what I mean. Devin's looking for the belts. He's not looking to risk anything his belt for anything less, unless it's a mandatory statement, right? He ain't got no mandatory right now.
Yeah, he
So
ain't gonna have no mandatory for
right,
I
because
think
they
18
made him
months
the
because he was the
mandatory.
mandatory. He was the
Yeah, they
mandatory.
made him the
So
mandatory, and that was out of Brian Norman's words. That's why they said it was no rematch, which is weird. Um,
he got played, man.
but at the end of the
You know,
day,
you know, he said he didn't find out that Devin was the mandatory to the night of the fight.
yeah, it's crazy, right? And
And
look,
I
and
been
that's
knew
why
that Devin was
sanctioning
the
bodies are being
mandatory because
questioned.
I went to the WBO site and he was the mandatory for about like a month. So I'm like,
Yeah,
how the hell did you find? How did you find out so
yeah,
late?
but that's what's crazy because, like you said, that's just shows you how the sanctioning bodies are playing these games with fighters and stuff. So that's another thing we have to look in. Popularity sells, and these sanctioning bodies know where they're getting their money from. They're getting them from the highest bidders and the more popular fighters because they're going to sell the fight.
Yeah, but
So
he
they get
should
that
have
3%.
known once the WBO said, yeah, we're gonna rank him at number one. So if they rank him at number one, you don't think they'll make him a mandatory? Should I would have been
No,
refreshing the
I
WBO
mean
thing.
that
And like
that happens
I
from time to
refreshed it
time,
until
though.
I seen him. I refreshed it until I seen he was the mandatory, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That's what's up, though. Um, it's crazy that he didn't get the ring belt because it was 1 versus 2, and I mean, you had on BoxRec, you had Devin number 1, Brian Norman number 2, and then on ring rankings, Brian was number 1, and what's the name was number 2. You know
I
what I
want
mean?
him to get the I
Salute,
want him to get
brothers.
the ring. I want him to get the ring belt
Salute y'all.
against
My
Ryan
bad. I kept
Garcia.
y'all back there long. I don't know how long y'all been back there. I just
Yeah,
got
here
back
for
though.
boxing was trying to get up too. There he is. Oh, go ahead. All right, I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm gonna let y'all cook for a
Yeah,
second. What's up,
I'm a
Rich
step in
Clay?
the
Here for
back.
boxing. What's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
What up? What up? What up?
Too rich. What you got? What's good?
Man, I'm gonna say it like this, man. You know, you got to feel for Tank fans, for PBC fans, because you got to look at it like this: the guys, for the most part, that they go against, the Terrence Crawfords and the Devin Haney's and the Shakurs, right? So Terrence Crawford fought Canelo, big fight. Haney fought Norman, big fight. Shakur is finna fight T.O., big fight. Who Tank finna fight? You know he gonna take the path of least resistance. And you think they don't see that? They see that. Don't think they don't see that. So I feel like they in a bad place right now. They're a little down bad right now because they got on step, man. When you got a boxer, man, he can get in the ring with anybody. But the power puncher can't get in the ring with anybody. People don't understand that. They reluctant and they be very careful about who they put the power puncher in the ring with. But when you got a boxer, the skills will always pay the bills. And then they diminish the boxers because they trying to sell the puncher. But when the PBC had the boxer, they had no problem marketing the boxer and Floyd Mayweather because they knew couldn't nobody beat him. But with Tank, you see that they got him in protective custody. You know what I mean? They can't let him fight anybody. So, you know, it is what it is.
Hey, Tank said he want to fight Pitbull, the guy
Of
that
course,
most people
the
thought
path of
didn't
least
win the fight.
resistance.
Look,
Hey, I would rather
ain't
him
it funny
call Frank Martin.
all the Tank fans fall in line with Tank since Tank said what he said? Now all of a sudden, most of them think that Pitbull won the fight. But yeah, go ahead, too, Rich.
No, I was just saying, man, you know, it's the path of least resistance in Pitbull, man. I would rather, if you're going to fight Pitbull, fight Frank Martin then. He the one that looked good. Why not rematch him?
But
Pitbull didn't
the
look good.
thing,
Pitbull didn't
the
look good
thing,
at all. He looked the worst out of everybody.
Tank
You
beat
see what I
Pitbull with
mean?
one hand. We don't need that fight again. We don't need that. He beat him already.
Exactly.
We
We
move
don't
on
want to see
ahead.
that. Don't nobody want to see that
No,
at
you
all.
owe Lamont
Hey,
Roach a bump. You
Keyshawn
owe
don't got to
Lamont a
fight.
bump, nigga.
Hey, look, Keyshawn don't got to fight. If you're going to fight Pitbull at 140, why don't you call out Keyshawn?
Woo!
See, they won't make a big fight. They're not going to make a big fight. They're going to take the easy fight for the money.
But
That's what they're going to do.
the Lamont Roach fight was too close for comfort. They're like, yeah, we ain't doing this again. We can't.
100%.
We ain't doing this again.
Yep.
It was. I hope y'all enjoyed it, but that's all y'all getting out of me and Lamont Roach. He's never gonna fight
100%.
Lamont.
And
He ain't gonna fight
that
Lamont.
was a plan that wasn't supposed to go like that. We knew that was a cherry pick and that wasn't supposed to go like that.
It blew up in his face.
Yeah, it was a cherry
He
pick
was,
that went wrong.
he was supposed to do Lamont like he did Frank. Get him in, get him out, and it just went left.
Yeah,
Now,
I believe that too, man. I think that
Yep.
was a set. I think the fix was in too. I think that they presented that fight to Lamont Roach, you know, to try in attempts to really knock him off, really to get him out of there, you
And
know,
that's what they.
so
And
that
that's what they
Tank
did with
won't have to
Pitbull.
fight that
Yep.
rematch.
Yep.
And so I think they expected for Pitbull to knock him out or stop him or something, you know, or beat him
They was
convincingly.
they was
And
hoping
so
for a Hail Mary.
yeah, and since it looked like Lamont Roach won the fight, the best they could do for Pitbull is make it a draw, and that was enough for Tank fans, man. To just run with that was enough for Tank and his
And they're going
fans to
they're
just
going to
run with it.
reward Pitbull for being a good soldier taking the Roach fight. They're going to reward him with another Tank fight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Remember, they was looking for the newest PBC superstar in that fight. Remember
And
that?
Pitbull did his job against Lamont. He didn't get knocked out. He didn't get beat. I mean, per the judges, and that's all they wanted.
Hey man, that's why I was saying from the beginning. I was saying I don't know if I was talking to Clay or Ray, but I definitely said that I think that was a dumb fight, you know, for
Yeah.
Lamont Roach to
Never
take,
took
you
that
know,
fight.
against Pitbull. What do you get out of that about fighting Pitbull, you know, at 140? I don't think he should have went with that. I think he should have went with the Shakur, you know, fighting Shakur or
He
one of
was
them
trying
other
to go with
guys.
Shakur. He was.
Hey, but in his position, bro, he had to take the
Yeah.
payday, man. He just missed
Lamont
the
needed
payday.
he needed
He
some
had to
money,
take
man.
the
He was out
payday.
of turn.
Yeah.
And Shakur had moved on and took the Tio fight, had stalled up the negotiations. And Shakur actually spoke up on that. But I think boxing is taking a crazy turn right now. And I mean, look, I seen it coming. You know what I mean? I talked about this, you know, when I first opened up my channel and said that, you know, all this PBC, Tank Davis, you know, it was going to age like milk because ultimately at some point or another, it was going to hit the wall that people are going to want to see Tank in these fights. And no matter how you want to paint it, if he doesn't deliver, he doesn't deliver. And it went even worse than I thought it was going to go as far as for this casual mainstream fan base that made everything about Tank and made everything about the PBC, because now the way Ring Magazine is rolling it out, they putting the energy behind this talent now, behind the Terrence Crawfords, behind the Devin Haney's, behind the Shakurs. They're making the biggest fights. And your fighter is sitting on the sideline, not making the money, not making the big fights, complaining, trying to get out the way, talking about he's done with boxing. And these fans really are stuck in between a rock and a hard place, because really they got to choose boxing and Tank. And I think most of them you see are choosing Tank, right? They're not even talking about boxing. They're not even rolling out anything about what's happening in boxing currently inside the ring. They'd rather make everything about how unfair Tank is being treated. I think it's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Just on a real, like, legitimate, just watching it from the outside, 100% looking in, boxing is making a return, bro. Good fights, good matchups, great boxing, bro. Nobody has time to focus on Tank Davis and what he's going to do next. Now, I know this is what the conversation is about right now, because Bill Haney done put out another challenge to Tank Davis, and that's cute and adorable. But I think Bill is just more so crossing his T's and dotting his I's just to make it clear. He knows that fight ain't going to happen. Tank ain't taking that fight, bro. Tank is going to do either ESOC, or he is going to retire, or maybe he'll fight somebody at 135. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's not going to be part of the conversation, because he's not going to be able to be in the conversation as the A side anymore. He's lost so much leverage in these conversations. He's lost a lot of leverage. Nobody's coming to the PBC, settling for low upfront money, getting back end money on pay-per-views that won't even sell. Nobody's playing that game no more. They don't need to.
Hey, we on the same frequency, bro. I was just about to ask you what you thought about what Bill said about Tank fighting Devin, and how you felt about Tank fighting Devin. So you think that Bill is not really serious about that? You think he's just trolling or crossing? No, he said crossing his T's, dotting his I's. So
he's just sticking it to him. He's just making it clear. Once he's just bringing light to the situation, just to show that this ain't about money. This ain't about all the narratives that people are pushing. This is about Tank, whether or not Tank Davis is going to be willing to step or not. That's what he's showing. He's just showing that to the world and saying, this dude just ain't going to fight us. It don't matter about all those things that you said. And shout out to the people in there saying somebody lying. That's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how you guys are in your feelings, bro. And I really feel genuinely sorry for you guys. You know what I'm saying? You hang out in the back of these chats and you try to find something to hold on to. But the reality is there's only one thing that would answer all questions, and that's Tank making these fights happen. Even if you were to send out the offers, and as long as that's not happening, bro, you're just gonna be mad, bro. There's no story, no excuses to be made, bro. Y'all just meat mushing, and it's embarrassing.
Hey, check this out.
Johnson, bro.
Yeah, hey, so hold on. Let's not lose focus though, y'all. So I think that it's definitely a possibility that Tank could be heavy right now. You know what I'm saying? He could be fit to go in at 147, you know, fresh off of that Jake Paul debacle that we saw about to happen. You know, I really think Tank was gaining weight. I don't think Tank was trying to go in to fight Jake Paul at no 135 fighting weight, bro. I definitely think he was trying to put on weight. And so I think it's valid right now for Bill to call him out. And like you said, Bill, you know, you thought Bill was crossing his T's, dotting his I's. Yeah, kinda.
He's taking opportunity. He's saying he knows that Tank was just entertaining a catchweight fight at 195, so he knows the whole weight thing is out the window. So now he's striking while the pot is hot. You ain't got no fight right now. Your fight's been canceled. You was about to fight somebody at 195. Just to be clear, just so everybody can stop with the narratives, fight us now. You was about to fight at 195, fight us at 147. Yeah. Make this fight happen. And guess what, though? He's not going to make the fight happen. You're going to go and move strategically with your handlers' ideas and plans on what's going to benefit the promotional company that you stand in front of, and what you think is going to affect your pockets the best. Because I'm saying what you think, because at this point you're shooting yourself in the foot, because there's no way that you're going to get more money fighting Pitbull than you are fighting Devin, Shakur, any of those guys. So it's not even about money no more. It's about the straight ignorant, blind stupidity. You know what I'm saying? It's just at this point, it's exposing all the ideas of this guy being a super strategy guy and moving like a G, like a boss. That's not what it is. He just don't know what's going on, bro. He's just mad. He's emotional. He don't know what to do, and it ain't got nothing to do with intelligence. It got all to do with maturity.
Don't forget he the A-side.
Taking his career.
Who care why the fight was canceled? We saying that he's up the weight to be able to fight Devin at 147. That's what we saying, but we don't think we know he not going to do it, but we just saying it's not out of the realms of possibility for him to go in and fight Devin now at 147 when he was just about to fight somebody at a catch weight at 195, bro. And it looks even worse with what we just saw Bud do. And a lot of Tank radical fans think that Tank is the best fighter in the world. They think he knocked Bud out or something crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, or they at least think that he's more skilled than Bud. So why wouldn't he be able to do if he's more skilled than Bud, then why can't he do what Bud did? Bud just hopped up, I say 3 weight classes, but we gonna be conservative and just say 2. He just hopped up 2 weight classes and beat the best guy there. So you can't argue and say part of your argument can't be, oh, Devin is not just going up to fight any old person at 147. That's 2 weight classes. All of that. We just saw Bud do exactly that. 2 weight classes, the best guy there.
And Bud
really 3. A lot of people would say 3 because they would say 154 was just a touch.
Yeah, I'm being conservative because I know they're gonna argue against that. Go ahead, too, Rich.
All right, well, look, check this out. What I'm saying is, he ain't gonna fight Devin. He wouldn't fight Devin at 135, man. So I know he ain't gonna fight Devin. But all I'm saying, step for boxing. All your constituents, all those guys, they stepping. All I'm saying, if Tank would have came out and put out a tweet saying, "I want the winner of Shakur and T.O.," you know how big that would be for boxing. You know how big that would be. Look, they gonna stay in the in-house fights because if you got an investment in a fighter, you're not gonna put him in a fight in-house that he's supposed to lose. The only smoke is across the street. If he ain't gonna cross the street, he ain't gonna fight nobody. Ain't nobody to fight on the PBC. They got respect on the PBC. They fight him, they build a name, they go get other fights. You see what I mean? They're not gonna beat him on the PBC. He gotta cross the street, but we know he ain't gonna do it.
Agreed. And he got to be the A side. And it's crazy.
He can be the A side. Let him be the A side.
No, I got you. So at the end of the day, what it is he spoke to fighting Devin in an interview. He's not going to win this fight unless he gets a knockout. And we already seen what happened when the last guy tried to knock Devin out. That is a problem. And he don't want to face that problem because the man said he's not going to be a meme. Matter of fact, the guy said, "What list? I didn't have no list." Right? Why did he say that? Because he never named a fighter. Right? The guy in front of him named the fighters, and he just said yes. That's it. So he never had a list. Right? We're listening to the facts that, they on his hit list. And then when he said he didn't have a list, how did that switch with his fan base when they said, he never had a list? He said he didn't have a list. Y'all rock with everything that is positive for this guy. It's crazy. When Leonard Ellaby said, "What did Devin do?" After the coach, Calvin and Kenny was like, "Yo, tell Devin to send the contract. Tell Devin to send the contract." The man sent the contract, and Leonard Ellaby sat there and said, "You can't send a contract to the A side." Literally said that. Then he said he was too big. He never going back to 140. Then he said that Devin is Tank gets as big as 175. Literally said that in multiple interviews, back to back to back. So why is all these excuses that why the fight didn't happen and not going to happen becoming the reason why Devin can't go chase greatness on his own because somebody's a leftover? Let me throw this out there real quick, y'all. What happened when Tank tried to fight Loma? Was he fighting Loma for the belt to unify, or was he fighting Loma because he was Devin's leftovers? At the end of the day, I land my plane.
Hey, look, Ray, this this one of the things right here that I just think is so crazy, man. This term right here, this weight bully thing that they like to throw around when Devin, you talk about Devin, they always want to say that he a weight bully and all of that stuff. But if you look at this term weight bully, people use that for the negative and positive. They use it for both. They say somebody's a weight bully. They say that they're gaining an advantage in the fight. Good. And at the same time, they say they use it for the disadvantage too. Like for Chris Eubanks Jr., you know what I'm saying? They'll say that, him fighting at that weight, fighting at a weight class where he has to struggle to get down to is a disadvantage for him. But for Devin Haney, it's an advantage for him though. or certain other people, they pick and choose what they want it to mean, what the weight mean for certain people. For if you have somebody like Devin, he might look like he's struggling to get down to the weight class, to make the weight or whatever weight class. We might say 140. When he went to 140 the first weigh in, he looked okay, you know what I'm saying? But the second time, he didn't look as good. During the Ryan Garcia fight, he looked like he was struggling to make weight. He was having weight issues. But we know that doing that hurts you as well as well, I don't know about the benefits, because I'm still struggling to see what benefits that Devin had by struggling to make weight against Ryan Garcia or whoever else they say he looked bad and looked like he struggled to make the weight cut. Devin is not the type of fighter that lean on you and use his weight. You can't say he's using the weight to absorb the punches better, but at the same time say, oh, somebody's punch resistance is gone because they struggled to get down to make weight. It got to be consistent. With Devin, we want to say that it gave him an advantage, but with somebody like Chris Eubanks Jr., we want to say it took away his punch resistance. With Boots, we want to say, oh, Boots had an advantage. You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense to me. We got to. I feel like that's why I feel like if you make weight, you make weight. You know what I'm saying? I really think that I'm really leaning towards it being a disadvantage for you, because it takes away some of your power, it takes away your punch resistance and all of that stuff. The only benefit I would see that a person coming in heavier than ideal is maybe if they was going to try to use their weight to throw the person around or have some kind of you can't really use the power thing, because I heard somebody say before, okay, yeah, it makes you bigger, you got more weight on you, so it puts more power behind your punches. But which one is it? It can't be. You see the inconsistencies I'm talking about? Like, people will say, oh yeah, he ain't had the power. They will acknowledge that he didn't have the power that he had when he moved up to a more comfortable weight. Each time we see him move up, we see him get stronger, because it's a healthier weight cut. But then, we want to say that, oh, he was bigger than every opponent that he fought. What advantage is it, though? What advantage? Is it really an advantage or is it a disadvantage?
I just know nobody walked through them jabs that he was throwing ever.
I mean, they was calling Devin pillow fisted or whatever. I think it might have had something to do with him not comfortably making the weight cut.
Yeah, he was draining himself. Yeah, he was draining himself.
And he still didn't walk through them jabs.
But they try to. But my thing is this: like this person right here, they try to use that. They try to use that as a way to try to down Devin and say he is a weight bully. But it's clearly a disadvantage, though. We've seen each time that Devin move up, he looked better. He looked the best at 140 when he fought Regis when he first got there. But we know that Devin is young, so his body is still growing. So he's getting bigger. He probably gonna end up at 154 somewhere around there.
So I ask a question to the panel? So.
Yeah.
Attempting to pull a guy up from 130, even though one of them ended up being bigger than him, and going down to 130 to fight a smaller guy that came from 126. Is that not being considered a weight bully, especially when you was at that time walking around 160? Leonard Ellerbe said he was walking around 175.
Yeah, 160.
I mean, I would see more.
Was that considered a weight bully then?
Hey, that should be the definition of the term weight bully. When you pull somebody up from a lower weight class and you're already fighting comfortably in a bigger weight class and you're not going down to a catch weight. See, that's why Floyd fought in catch weights. When he fought a bigger person, he made them, do a catch weight.
Hey, but I prefer a catch weight over the hydration clause, because at least he can rehydrate.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because the bigger guy might want that fight. It might be a big money fight. I just don't like the hydration clause. Because look, the hydration clause also mess with your brain, man, because you're not fully rehydrating. So that hydration clause is dangerous, man.
I agree with you. I don't rock with rehydration clauses, but The catch weights, I don't really got no problem with a catch weight, because you got two fighters agreeing to a weight that they're both
Yeah.
going to come in and fight at. Okay, that's cool. That's straight. But when you put a rehydration clause on top of the catch weight, that's diabolical.
Right.
Man, Eubanks look sick, man. That man didn't look healthy, man. That look dangerous, man.
Look,
Yo,
he in the hospital now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That looks dangerous, man.
It is dangerous, man. And shout out, I see somebody here saying Leo was 130-pound champion. I just want to throw some, for whatever it's worth. There's only a few people here in the chat, but I just want to make it clear, right? Just so we understand that, let's not be caught up in the semantics and be stupid. Leo Santa Cruz, right, was really 126, 122-pound fighter heading towards the end of his career, right? Even for lower weight classes, he got an opportunity and fought and got himself a title at 130, one fight at 130, and of course he was low hanging fruit, right? He was an opportunity to put a belt on somebody, and so they came down and they fought him at 130 pounds, and they didn't fight nobody else there. You know what I'm trying to say? I just want to be clear, like that was just an opportunity. Once again, a lot of strategic moves being made, and I have no issue with it, right? But you get to the point where most people who are making strategic moves, you're trying to build yourself up to a certain point so that you have certain leverage or say so in making the biggest fights happen. That's how I like to look at it, at least, right? But this is being rolled off clean into the sunset. This man has moved strategically in his career, got the fights he needed to get to build himself up, got the knockouts, but when it came time to give back to the game, he took his ball and he went home. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did, man. That's what he did.
Exactly.
People want to paint it as something else. I don't know what to tell you guys, bro. You know what I mean? I don't have time for the nonsense, and I don't want to argue with nobody about it, because at the end of the day, if he's choosing to do that, let him do that. Bye. But you fans, bro, this is where it's embarrassing. It has nothing to do with Tank. Tank could move the way he wants to move and be done with it. But the fans, you guys are just like deaf, dumb, and blind, bro. And you don't care about boxing that much because there's so much going on in boxing. This guy who's told you guys to fuck off and, just publicly humiliate you guys on social media platforms, you guys continue to stand behind him and try to push narratives around things that don't even make any sense. That's where the embarrassment's at. Even with Ryan Garcia, not to switch the conversation, I never had a problem with Ryan Garcia really cheating. I did, but I mean, like, you would get punished. He got suspended, whatever come. It's the fans that was diabolical for me. He tried to get an edge. He put something in his system. He ain't the first to do it. He won't be the last to do it. He got caught. He got his punishment. It is what it is. The fans, though, you guys were absolutely diabolical during that.
Nasty work, man. Nasty work.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's what it comes down to. Boxing is returning into another place where competitive fights mean something. Champions mean something. The best fighting the best means something. And if the fighter you support doesn't co-sign or subscribe to that idea, he's going to be on the outside, man. He is, because he's not going to be able to cross. He's not going to be able to make anything happen with Turkey without fighting the best. Turkey's not entertaining it. Like, you saw how he turned Boots away when Boots tried to, when Eddie Hearn tried to get him to facilitate the Lima fight. He said, "Hey, bro, we don't do those kind of fights over here. Come back when you're ready to fight the real fights, and we'll talk then." He's not playing any games, and your favorite promotional companies just don't have access to the funds to pay your fighter the way they were paying them when they were raping. I'm talking about the
raking. We'll use that.
I just thought about the word is crazy, but they were just swindling the networks out of big amounts of money to pay for fights that weren't even competitive. That doesn't exist no more for those guys. Now the money wants the best fights. And as long as your fighter's willing to make the best fights, then the money's going to be there. But anything else is uncivilized, bro. Boxing is not happening no more.
Hey, look, now the PBC got Tank, and they got a real stepper in David Benavidez. If David Benavidez say he want to fight, they go pay for the fight. They go get the fight. So it ain't a question whether they can make a fight or not. But because they believe in David, they know David's stepping. They don't believe in Tank like that. They don't believe he can win the fight, not because he don't have the ability, because they know his mental is not right. You see what I mean? So they're not trying to put him in a fight where they don't trust it. But let it be David Benavidez. They'll put him in a fight. You see what I mean? So you got to look at the way they move these fighters, man. Like, they know Tank ain't got it. I've said for the longest, he fights Shakur Devin, he quits on the stool in the 10th round. Not because he can't fight, because it's the mental thing, man. He don't want to compete. He don't want to be embarrassed. He don't want to lose. You see what I mean? So, it's sad though, because people act like we trying to put him in a fight that he's supposed to lose. I think Tank will be probably favored in all those fights. You see what I mean? And people didn't catch when he was in that press conference, when they kept asking when he was finna fight Roach, they kept asking about Shakur and Devin and all that. He said, y'all just want to see me lose, which lets you know that's where his mental at. He thinks those are the fights that he could damn sure lose.
Yeah, I agree 100%, bro. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is at this point, man. Like, I don't even know how much deeper we can get into this without it just being redundant. Like, that man is not like that, bro. He's not, man. He not in his boxing game. I'm not talking about him personally. I don't know him personally. I mean, even though he got some wicked stuff personally being exposed in this space, but that's his business. That's between him and the God that he believes in. But as far as boxing is concerned, the business of boxing, that man is not here for that smoke. He's not here to fight the best. He's not here even at the cost of his own pockets. He won't fight the best, bro. Even when the money is there in the whacker fights and the lower paying fights, he picks the other fights. So it's not even about the money no more, bro. It's legitimately, look, if it's not fear, let's say it like this. It's something else besides the money. Okay? Whatever you want to say it is, it ain't about no money. It ain't about no asses in seats. It ain't about no damn pay-per-views. It ain't about nobody.
No.
It's something else. Call it whatever you want to call it. It's not about the money, bro. It's about something personal. It's an understanding that Gervonta Tank Davis and his team has about these fights that he doesn't want to be involved with. And don't tell me about the show, how entertaining it's going to be. Y'all was about to jump in the ring with Jake Paul, bro, at 195-pound catchweight fight, bro. There's nothing, bro. Stop it. The man don't want to fight specific fighters for specific reasons. And you guys can iron out what you think it is. I personally think it's because that he can't afford to let that go for himself in his own mentality. He doesn't want to go out in a 12-round masterclass, getting outboxed and lose to the judges. I mean, it's safe to say Tank don't like judges, right? You know what I'm saying? Tank don't like judges. He don't like judges in boxing. He don't like judges in the courtroom. He's trying to stay away from all judges. He don't want no judging happening. Worst fear in the world.
Hey, then they use the same talking point, right? And when they say he gonna fight a rematch for Pitbull Cruz and not Lamont Roach, it's two black fighters don't sell and all that. Well, the last time I looked, Lamont Roach and Tank outsold Pitbull and Tank. So you really can't use that point. You see what I mean? Keyshawn, if you say Pitbull sold 1,000 out the other night, Keyshawn did that twice in his hometown. So you can't throw that. It got something to do with, can you sell a seat? Whoever you put Tank in the ring with, it's gonna be a big fight. He only averages 300,000 pay-per-views. He needs an opponent. He needs a real opponent. That's how you boost up the pay-per-views. You see what I mean? We know how many pay-per-view Tank sell. So if you want to get 800,000 or 500,000, he got to fight somebody. I don't even think Pitbull will do it. When they always talk about the Mexicans worth so much money, where pay-per-view sales at? Where they pay-per-view? So where the Mexican pay-per-view sales that is so valuable? Because I don't see them. I don't hear about them, and I don't see them.
Yeah, I agree. I just think it's a whole hype job. People try to, and I mean, shout out to the Queen in the chat saying something about they agreed to fight Devin, but with a rehydration clause. It's just nonsense, man.
Who agreed to fight Devin?
I don't know what she's talking about, man. And shout out to the queens that have jumped into boxing on the back of Tank, become interested in the sport, but find themselves engulfed in this situation, man. I think it's just a female energy to be a fanatic, like the Beehive, like Beyonce fans, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the Tank Hive. That's the Tank Hive, boy.
Yeah, you guys have lost focus on the sport, man. You get so caught up on defending this man. I mean,
he got a purse like mine.
Yeah, it's respectable to a degree, but at the same, because I say a black woman, once she's decided that you her man, or she decides she's gonna defend you she ain't gonna play no games about you. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I can always say.
It's okay, he hit her. It's okay. It didn't really happen.
But some of the stuff they say is crazy. The rehydration clause. First of all, I don't ever hear nothing about Devin Haney being offered no fight with no rehydration clause. Number two, why? Why a rehydration clause? For what reason? Go get you an IBF title so you can have a rehydration clause. A rehydration clause against a champion in your division that you're in? Come on, bro.
Why he never used that WBA secondary belt to fight for the WBA Super? You know why?
Drop the post, Keisha. Drop the post that they offered Devin a fight with a rehydration clause.
Show the facts.
Put the post up, Keisha. Throw the link up. I appreciate you. Thank you in advance.
Yo, they be coming with all types of crazy.
I'm assuming she's right. I hope she wouldn't just sit here and make something up. I'm interested in because I'm not aware of it. So she's able to offer some references and I can add that to what I know. Oh, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? So yeah, take your time. Fine. Thank you. I appreciate you, Queen.
They be fanatical and they be trying to say that we be they be thinking I'm fanatical. They be thinking I be lying and making stuff up when I be telling them that people told me they knew Tank favorite color is green and all this crazy. His favorite candy is Skittles and stuff like that. They think I be making this stuff up, bro.
Hey, look, check this out. Hey, I was
right. They be like, you ain't no real fan of Devin. What kind of candy Devin like? Yeah, I know you don't know because I know what thing. They be trying to make you feel bad. You be feeling a little bad after. You're like, damn, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know what kind of candy you like for real though. Damn, bro, you definitely a better fan than I am. I gotta get my shit together.
Hey, look, check this out. Hey, the reason why Tank got a fan base, man, is because he don't fight the fights. People don't understand how that works. It's like Tank is a constant cliffhanger. He fights a fight, then they think the next fight is gonna be the fight that he fight these guys. Then he fights somebody else. Then they think, okay, well the next one, now we're gonna get ready. They want the fight just we want the fight. His fans want the fight, but they accept the fact that he don't give it to them. So they have no choice but to cheer for ticket sales. When Holyfield and Tyson was fighting, man, ain't nobody thought about those goddamn pay-per-views and ticket sales, bro. We were watching them fight. You see what I mean? But they have no choice because Tank not going to give them the fight. So now they start defending. You see what I mean? What Devin doing, what Crawford doing, what Shakur doing, we see that. We don't need to be in a frenzy about it. We see what they doing. You see what I mean? But Tank fans become debaters. They become really good debaters because they are trying to convince you that he's done enough. They're trying to convince you he's done enough. They think they win if they convince you and tear the other fighters down. And you know, whenever you hear the word boring, they don't sell, that means that's a good fighter. That's the key word, the meaning that's a good fighter. You see what I mean? Because they're going to diminish them. They're going to diminish them. This is an old game. They used to make hit pieces back in the days when they had the magazines, but that's what they're doing now. They try to diminish the fighters that's a threat. You see what I'm saying? But we know who the threat is. It's the nigga you don't fight. The niggas you avoid and got a good reason for not fighting.
Hold on, let me get this super chat, man. Shout out to Jonathan Jackson, man. Appreciate you, boy, for the 199 super chat. He said, Lil Tink never offered Debo a dime.
Straight cash. Last me and my family for the rest of our lives. I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Ray Davis with the $2. John right there. Let me see. Where's that? Yeah, he said smash the like button and subscribe.
Straight cash. Last me and my family for the rest of our lives. I'm rich, bitch.
Hey, Frequent, I need you to help me with that, man. So we're gonna talk about that privately. You already know, Frequent. So we're gonna make an appointment. I don't know what time, how we gonna work it out, but we'll work it out. We're gonna do that off camera.
I like to thank y'all for donating to the Flyer Get Rich Fund, bro. So
man,
we need you to buy more drones, brother.
Hey, Frequent. We got a great card coming up tonight, man, with Diego Pacheco. You know, leave it to me to bring up some boxing. Leave it to me to bring up some boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Leave it to me to mess up the party, bro, and bring up some boxing, bro.
No, but you coming on at 5:30, bro. I ain't trying to step on your toes with it.
No, we good. No, but I'm not coming on to talk about the fights. I'm talking about we calling the fights. We watching the fights. Are the Tank fans watching the fight tonight? Are they gonna watch the fight? Or are they waiting on Tank to make a fight so they can catch some boxing?
They're gonna watch it. It's Mexicans fighting. It's Mexicans fighting. They're gonna watch it. They don't like black fighters. You know what I'm saying?
What they doing? They scouting. They doing a scouting report.
Hey, yeah, they trying to figure out who they're gonna fight next and shit.
And that's exactly what they doing. But we got great fights tonight, man. We got some good fights. We got Diego Pacheco getting ready to fight Christian and Billy 2.0. We got Ernesto Tito Mercado getting ready to put belt to ass on Antonio Moran and make a statement.
Better.
You know what I'm saying? He got to do his job. He gonna do his job tonight. We're gonna see if Joe Cordina's gonna get in the conversation at 135, or if Gabe Flores has gotten over his telling, punching, easily getting hit ass. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what he does. We'll see what Gabe gonna do tonight. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of fights. We got Scott Nicholson on the card tonight.
Returning Scott Nicholson.
Some great fights going on tonight, man. I hope everybody find somewhere to tune in. If you don't got nowhere to tune in, you already know how we carrying it over at ATP. You know how we gonna do it. But if it's not over with us, you know what I mean? Find you a DAZN link and catch you some good boxing tonight, man.
For sure.
Let me get this other super chat. Shout out to Jonathan Jackson in the super chat again. 199. He said she's never going to be able to find the video.
Exist, but we're gonna wait on her. Give her about 10 more minutes, man. Don't hang up yet. Give it 10 more. Give it 10 more.
Straight cash. Last me and my family for the rest of our lives. I'm rich,
Yo, you know what's crazy? Did y'all you seen this by P. Forkin? Whatever you want to be, pound for pound king, whatever. Listen, first of all, Clay, you're a bozo because nobody wants to see the lightweight versus a middleweight.
I know.
So let's check this out. Remember, Tank's really a 130-pound fighter. So is he a lightweight? He should be fighting at 130, right? That's what y'all said. He in the 135 pounds. So why is he fighting at 135 if he really a 130-pound fighter? You know what? You know why? Because he's definitely a guy that weighed 190 pounds. I'm just saying. I think it's so awkward that y'all move this needle to this nonsense and spew what you think and what your opinions are. Yo, keep it facts, bro. Stop running the game with your minds of, yo, he's street, so I can connect to him. Get that shit out of your head, bro. We grown women up here. Excuse my language.
Check this out, man. When it come to making a guy famous, right? Everything they'll tell another fighter do, promote yourself, do all this. Tank don't do none of that. He don't do none of that. Last 2 years, he had 4 fights, and maybe he been locked up 5 times.
Yeah.
That adds to your infamy. See, like I said, I come out of the music industry, so when rappers are too clean, they want to be dirty because people are attracted by the dirt. They don't want you to be too clean. So Tank, not by that he's trying to do it, but through his mishaps, it's actually made him famous. It made people attracted to him because they identify, oh man, he's going to jail too. He having his issues, he bouncing back, whatever. So all I'm saying is more things go into making a guy famous. It ain't just the fights, but you can't tell another young boxer, hey man, we need you to go to the airport, put a gun in your bag or something so we can build up you shouldn't do that in boxing. They do that in rap, but you shouldn't do that in boxing. You see what I mean? So it's other reasons why he's famous, just like Mike Tyson going to do 3 years for rape. That adds to the legacy too. That attracts people too, and people are attracted to people that's a little bit dirty. You see what I mean? So it's more than just he got this super fan base from fighting. No, he do a lot of other stuff that he get headlines for too. That's negative.
I mean, yeah, indeed, yeah.
Real crazy work.
Yo, but we've been on here for a minute, man. Anybody else got some last words to say?
Man, I was waiting for Keisha to come back, man. Where Keisha?
All right, yeah, we can hang out then.
Where she at, man? Keisha.
Hey, what we thinking about this Shakur T.O. fight, man? What we thinking?
Man, I think the intangible in this one for me too, Rich, and you tell me where you at with it, definitely, you know what I'm saying? But the intangible for me is going to be that the people behind the fighters. Is going to be that corner work. It's going to be the dynamic of Wally Moses and Shakur Stevenson and the preparation that goes into this fight, and the dynamic between Teofimo and his father and the preparation going into the fight. And then in the fight, it's going to be the ability to stay disciplined and execute the game plan and not go rogue. I mean, I put a lot of the pressure of this fight being competitive on the back of Teofimo. Now, I mean, I know the physical part of Shakur having his hands healthy is going to play its part as well. But, Teofimo has this hype that he has to live up behind. And I'm also interested too, Rich, if you want to add some perspective on this whole idea of him only stepping up to fight the biggest and the hardest fights. Is that consistent just because he did that with just Lomachenko and he did that with Josh Taylor? Is this what we've come to understand as a pattern of Teofimo? Or do we count Sandor Martin, Jermaine Ortiz, Steve Claggett, and say, hey, bro, there's more fights where he didn't step up since he's become this name after Lomachenko than not. But I'll land my plane there just to say the intangible.
Hey, did you see him on the Breakfast Club interview?
Yeah, I seen him.
Hey,
I
I'll say this.
think T.O. serious about calming down, man. He was acting the same way on there.
Yeah, but I mean, go ahead, Too Rich, because go ahead, Too Rich. I want to know what you think.
I'll just say this because it's still early right now, and I would say this: if you take T.O. highs and you take his lows and average them out, his average is not better than Shakur. So I got Shakur in the fight, but the only thing that bothers me a little bit is the odds. It's Shakur 3-1. I mean, I'm trying to figure out why they got him so highly favored. I think as fans, we see that fight closer than that, but they got the odds at Shakur minus 300. So I'm curious, and I would advise all y'all to look. Let's wait till about 2 weeks before the actual fight and see if those odds change. See, if you notice in the Crawford fight, the odds started off about minus 300 or something for Canelo, and by fight night it was minus 185. That means smart money came in on Crawford late. Devin Haney, Norman was minus 185. By fight night it was damn near even. Smart money came in on Devin Haney. So I'm curious to watch the odds, man. Do they see something that we don't see? We know T.O. is talented. I ain't gonna take nothing from that. But I think the biggest thing for T.O., bro, you looked good against Loma for 6 rounds. T.O. is not consistent. You see what I mean? He'll have flashes of looking like the best boxer in the world. And then look at the Claggett fight. Some of them parts of the Claggett fight, this dude looked like he was on another planet. And then as other parts of the fight, he was just getting beat up. You see what I mean? So I don't know exactly what T.O. gonna bring. But the problem is you look good against those fighters, the Taylors and the Lomachenko, but can you look good against an elite black fighter? That's what we're really watching. Can he do it against an elite black fighter? Because if you actually describe T.O.'s style, you damn near got to call him a slick black fighter. You see what I mean? So does that work against an actual elite black fighter? So that's what we're going to watch. But I'm going to watch them odds closely and see a smart money man come in late on T.O. It's worth the watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think what it comes down to is boxing, the odd makers and the people who are putting this together. The reality is T.O. has lost the faith of the boxing space. Like, he's done a lot of questionable things when it comes to making quote unquote some big fights. He did questionable things with the Devin Haney fight. Bob Arum has been public about him not wanting to fight Subriel Matias. He's not, jumped into unifying or fighting the fights in his division. He got caught up in all the antics, and I think it translates as anxiety and a lack of self-confidence. And that has a lot to do with boxing. 70 to 80% mental, right? 20 to 30% physical. So I just think that the space is very much in a gray area when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, including me, by the way. I am in a gray area. I've seen him be great, but I've also seen him look real suspect. I've seen him have a hard time cutting the ring off. I've seen him be fundamentally weak, and it makes me wonder, where is it coming from? And if it's a lack of focus, I don't know, but I don't know how much weight I'm willing to give it in this fight, because when you fight fights like this against a Shakur Stevenson, or just like when Errol Spence fought Terrence Crawford, it's like those intangibles weigh so much more. When you're jumping into fights where a 60, 70, 75% version of you can beat just about anybody, that's one thing. But when you need that 90+%, can you tap into that? And how do you tap into that? And what does that look like against somebody who maybe even at 100% version of you can't beat? What does a 90% or less than 90% version of you present as far as a threat to a Shakur Stevenson? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I got Shakur now. Don't get me wrong. I got Shakur winning, but I just think once Shakur established the distance, man, the combination punching, man, that's what's gonna win the fight. T.O. fighting spurts, man, and if he hits you hard and you don't fall, it's almost like you can see him get disappointed.
Yeah.
And Even in everybody give him credit for the Barboza fight, and it's true that he had the best fight of the night, but that wasn't a great fight either.
Yeah.
Barboza caught him with a counter in the fourth or fifth round, and T.O. started dancing after that. The same shot that Kambosos caught him with, he got caught by Barboza with that fight, and that's when he went to dancing and not really trying to go for it no more. So to me, he inconsistent. Everybody give him credit for the interview or whatever they just had the press conference, but all that talking you did with Barboza, you coming there looking like a gangster, you got up there and let your daddy do all the talking. You know what? So I still think, both of them a little bit nervous, but I definitely think T.O. still got something up in his head that we just don't know, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And
Yeah.
not only that, see, I kind of look at the Barbosa thing a little differently. And yes, he did get caught with that punch, right? But I think he really forced Barbosa to put his hands in his pockets a little bit there. And I think by him doing so, and with the antics that he did put on to be the showman, you know what I mean, to take himself away from the takeover, I think he did lose something. He lost the luster of the fight because the fight was interesting, as you said, to Rich. And I think at the end of the day, we do have to give credit where credit's due. Teal has stepped up when the big lights have been on him. You know what I mean? And Shakur has had big lights on him as well, and he has, for the most part, and the fans' view. No, don't take this as mine. The fans' view has been mediocre, but you know what that is? That's a catch-22. Because when a Zepeda fight happened, nobody had nothing to say. He nullified that guy. He shut him down. He I ain't gonna say shut him down, but he beat the guy at his own fight, and he showed that he was a great boxer as well as a guy that can do it all in the ring. So then he shut up the naysayers, and what they do, they look for something else to just combat Shakur's talents with. So we're going to always see a negative side of things from the fan base that just wants to kick in the back of a guy that's a great fighter. And you got two great fighters right here, which is another thing I want to point out. Both of them in the same division, or formerly in the same division as a guy that, and I don't want to keep throwing this out there, that is supposed to be the guy of the division. And with that being said, they both moved on with their careers, and they are facing each other. You don't have, you know what I mean? They are doing the things that should have been done years ago. And this is what's great about boxing. When we forget about the guy that's just kicking the can down the street and we move on to riding our bikes up the street. So it is what it is.
Yeah, man.
He took his ball and went home.
I wanted to ask. We had started talking about the Bud situation with the belts and all of that before y'all got up here. So I wanted to ask, since we got Too Rich and Clay up here, I ain't really hear what y'all said. I ain't really hear what you said about it either, Ray.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk about it.
About the belts.
Well, let me go right quick because I got to get out of here, man. I go right quick. I forgot you did say that. I want to make 2 points quick. Remember, I put in the chat.
Well, hold on. Let me set it up real quick first.
Okay.
It's not just about Bud and the sanctioning body not paying the fees and all of that stuff. It's about people saying that he's no longer undisputed. He's not really undisputed because he didn't pay the fees. Like, what you think about that?
I mean, that's just talk. I mean, they not. Let me tell you something. If they were to take his belt and make him undisputed, they're gonna open up a whole can of worms that they don't want them people in their business. So if the WBC don't want them in their business, they're not gonna do anything. Now, as far as that, they didn't have no contract, man. Crawford said he ain't signed nothing. If you're gonna charge him 3%, you gotta know it's 3% of what. You think that the WBC waits on fighters to get their check and then wait on fighters to come pay them? No, they already in the pocket. What happened was they thought Crawford was going to lose the fight. They never saw a way that Crawford was going to win that fight. So now that he won, they left holding the trick bag. You see what I mean? So it's a sticky situation. But at the end of the day, my point is this: if you the WBC, why don't you just come out and say, hey, we're the WBC, we got a prestigious belt, and we charge double than what the other sanctioning bodies charge. Just stand on it. They're not doing that. They want to spin it on Crawford because what would other boxers say? See, if they just come out and say we charge double this and that, other boxers, at least in the future, might start thinking, I don't know if I want that belt. I'm gonna go ahead and get this other belt. It's cheaper. You see what I mean? So they got to be careful with the Crawford thing. Crawford starts switching, everybody switching. Crawford starts sliding up and down the division. Now everybody can move 2-3 weight classes. Crawford is attacking the sanctioning bodies. They better be careful. For they open up a can of worms they don't want to deal with. Y'all trying to shake the man down because you're mad that he beat Canelo. You had nothing in paper. You don't even know what he made. 60, 40, 70, 30. Take what he give you. I'm going to get out of here, man.
Yeah,
All right,
that's what's
salute,
up.
man. Yo, but
And I like
they were saying like somebody on a different panel was talking about I think I said it wrong earlier. They were saying that Bud made 10 million. They was trying to say Bud made 10 million, and they were saying exactly 3% of 10 million came out to 300,000 or something like that. I don't know, but then 50 million, 3% of 50 million. I mean, my bad, 0.6% of 50 million, they're saying is 300K. So I don't know which one they trying to go with.
They just making stuff up and they trying to do bad math, bro. At the end of the day, man, what Too Rich said was so accurate. When it comes to this belt thing, the bigger thing for me is the can of worms that it's opened up. It's opened up a Pandora's box, and they baited Suleiman into a very, very tough situation. He really shouldn't have publicly moved the way he moved on this, because now there's so much light getting shed on this, and it could be convenient timing or it can just be strategically planned. But with this 2026 about to roll out, with what TKO's rolling out with Zuffa and all them, I mean, you see what it sparked in the space. Keyshawn Davis is speaking on it. I've heard multiple fighters just speak on this situation. Even his enemies have had to be like, yo, I wouldn't have done it necessarily the same way, but he ain't lying. You know what I mean? There's a problem here. There's an extortion that's been happening for years in boxing that stopped the best fights from happening. These sanctioned bodies have divided boxing up. The unifications, the undisputed situation has been a complicated conversation. And I just think Bud is operating within, Bud is confident that he is in compliance with what he needs to do. And he's challenging the WBC to show him different. He's saying, well, if I'm not, if I'm wrong, if I'm really all of that, then take me to court. Come get your bread. Come get your money. And they're not doing it. So that right there has fighters thinking about this in a whole different way, I think. And I think it's going to affect the sanctioning bodies moving forward.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. And you know what's even crazier is what he said about that Bud opens up a can of worms, right? And they're not asking, telling them
Do
that
that, Keisha. I appreciate it. Send it to my IG. Thank you. I appreciate you,
and
Queen.
they don't pay more. You know what I mean? Because if they say they don't pay more, or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? That's crazy. Because if they were, oh yeah, we doubled down, and that's going to speak to a lot, saying like, okay, well, we moved the WBC out the way now. That was it, the IBO. You know what I mean? Oh, we're gonna move that, or the WBO, whatever it is. We're gonna move that into the
That's
sanction
my
because
instinct,
y'all ain't gonna be charging us double when this. We can use this IBO, excuse me. We can use that sanction body. We can always move another belt in and take another belt out, and it shouldn't even be that way. Why? My whole thing is, and I think you just touched on this. Where's the lawsuit at, man? If you have so much sustainable evidence to say that this guy should have paid you, where is the lawsuit? Why even make this public? Why make it public? Because you're trying to embarrass a man and make him feel guilty about something, to make him pay on something that you assumed that he was going to pay on because you lost money with Canelo. That's your fault. You allowed yourself to get bamboozled, hoodwinked, and everything else. So Bud is doing the right thing, regardless if y'all like it or not, or he says the belts don't matter or this and that. Man, every boxer knows the belt doesn't matter. Yes, he should have spoke about it when Earl Spence said it, but you know what? He didn't. Now he's talking about it.
No, but the belts do matter though, bro.
And no. Hold on. Of course they matter. They matter to all the boxers. They wouldn't fight for them if they didn't matter. The point is, what he's saying is, nobody should be paying these fees to be in the ring to hold the belt. Yeah, you should be paying your fees to be a part of the sanctions. That's one thing. But usually the promoters take care of that. But to be paying fees to say, oh, well, I need to be here holding the fees because I am a belt, I need to pay you more than what I should be paying you. That's diabolical, man. That's crazy and out of pocket. Mauricio Suleiman has proven over and over that he is the most crooked, and I'm saying this on record, please, the most crooked and diabolical of all the sanctioning bodies in boxing. He's always shoving his face inside the camera. What is he? What they say? What one man say? Suge Knight. He's always inside the videos,
Dancing
on dancing on the scene, always, because that's what Mauricio Suleiman is. He is a guy that wants attention, and he tries. And where's the money that's going to this whole organization for these fighters? I haven't heard one fighter saying they got any type of money or health benefits from this. That's another crazy part. Let's speak on that.
Yeah.
Rick,
Hey, hold on. Let me get this super chat real quick.
oh,
Shout out to Jonathan Jackson in the super chat again with the $4.99. He said, and it bet not be the Steven Espinoza video where he can clearly say they never sent Devin an offer. I don't know if he talking about what that. I think he talking about that link that Keisha said she gonna send you your IG.
Yeah, I know. That's probably what she is. I haven't gotten it yet, Keisha. I don't know if you're working on it, but I'm waiting on it because I'm gonna play it.
Straight cash. Last me and my family for the rest of our lives. I'm rich, bitch.
Keisha, I'm waiting on that link.
You gave her your IG?
You dropped the link where? Where did you drop the link?
She said it was too long to put in the
no,
chat.
she said right there at the bottom. She says I dropped the link. That's what she just said.
Oh, I don't know. The only thing I could think of that's even close to that is when Devin went up to 140 right after he beat Regis Prograis. He started calling out Tank again. He was like Tank, 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 and all of that. And he said he said off the bat from the rip that he wasn't going to accept no rehydration clauses and he wasn't going back down to 135. And people all the Tank fans were saying, how could he dictate any terms? You know, he ain't the
I
A-side.
found it.
That was the closest thing I could recall. But Rick Thames, you got it, bro.
Rick right, Thames, what's up? What's up, everybody?
What's good, Rick?
What's good, Rick? Ray.
Long time no here, man.
Oh,
I'm happy to see you, brother. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't even know why I'm smiling like that. I'm happy to see you, fam. Damn.
Yeah, man. I got to start hitting your link again, Clay.
No doubt.
When you first got rolling. And what's up? I see Hacker then pulled up. Hey, man, look, dog. Hey, this all I jumped up here to say about Bud and this whole Suleiman and belt situation. You know, I mean, Bud is my favorite fighter. I'm very, very open about that. And it's like when Bud do and say things I disagree with, I openly blast Bud. He's not above criticism with me. You know, I've noticed a lot in these boxing YouTube streets. Dudes' favorite fighters, when they have iffy behavior, they hide their hands, they get quiet and they overlook it. But hey man, I call balls and strikes. When you're doing good, I'm gonna talk about you. When you're doing bad, I'm gonna talk about you. So I don't discriminate. But when it comes to this belt in Suleiman's situation, it's so lame to me because Suleiman is such a snake. He's so phony. It's like he let Canelo duck and dodge Benavidez for 100 million years. You know, he let Canelo run and hide behind franchise status and drop belts here and there. When was Canelo find a strip? You know, Bud done told Suleiman to kiss his black ass, and I'm not mad at Bud behind it. See, it's like you want to be selective with your enforcement of your rules. We know Bud beat your boy, so now you basically you want to charge the brother. You want Bud to pay you for beating Canelo. You want him to pay a little extra for beating Canelo. So, hey, I'm not mad at Bud. Sometimes you got to buck the system and say, I don't give a damn. You kiss my ass, kiss my black ass, you know.
What they say, come get it in blood, nigga.
Yeah, exactly. Who gonna check me, boo? You know, come do something about it. Anybody beat me in the ring yet? You can have your title. So what? Who gonna do something about these?
Yeah, who gonna take it the right way, man? Go get your email Tam.
Yeah, my bank account beautiful. I'm living well. Life is good.
Tam, I think he said it best. He said, anyway, I'm about to go get me a turkey burger. Y'all stay up. He said, I'm about to go get me a turkey burger. Y'all stay up. I'm out.
I love that, man. So
that's about it. You know what I'm saying?
It
I agree
is
with
what
you 100%.
it is, man. So, hey, so be it. Suleiman to live. The sun's still gonna rise tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. It is. Hey, I got the video, by the way, of what the Queen found here as far as information referencing. Do you mind if I play it frequent?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. Let me just pull it one more time. And shout out to the Queen for sending me this this video here. You know what I mean? Shout out to Keisha. You know what I mean? Send me this video, and this is what she's referencing to as far as
put in the present box.
Hold on, I'm just getting to start from the beginning again.
I got you.
Hold on, it's coming right now. All right, here we go.
I said it this morning, but just to be clear, a fight with Tank, no rehydration clause, no catch weight, correct?
Yeah, I'm not doing no catch weights. I'm not doing no rehydration clause. I'm the champion at 140. We doing throwback boxing. We're bringing it back to the throwback days where the best fight the best. He went up to 140. He didn't put Barrios under no rehydration, no none of that. Or maybe he did. I don't know. But we're doing
Barrios did have a rehydration clause.
We doing throwback boxing, and the best should be fighting the best. Where I'm 100%, he 100%, and we get it on, and may the best man win.
I think I might have missed the beginning of it, Clay.
All right, I'll do it again. Hold on here. Okay, so here we go. Wait, hold on. This damn phone, man. Now it's muted. Hold on 1 second. I got this. Hold on.
It sounded like somebody was asking him, would he fight Tank with a catch weight?
Yeah, that's what it was. Here we go.
He's deleted some of the tweets, but at this point, it's like anything you post is gonna be on the internet. One of them being a video of him saying that he is ready to go up to 140. Your dad said it this morning, but just to be clear, a fight with Tank, no rehydration clause, no catch weight, correct?
Yeah, I'm not doing no catch weights. I'm not doing no rehydration clause. I'm the champion at 140. We doing throwback boxing. We're bringing it back to the throwback days where the best fight the best. He went up to 140. He didn't put Barrios under no rehydration, no none of that. Or maybe he did. I don't know. But we're doing
Barrios did have a rehydration clause.
We're doing throwback boxing, and the best should be fighting the best. Where I'm 100%, he 100%, and we get it on, and may the best man win.
Okay.
Well, from what it sounded like the interviewer was saying that Tank put up a video telling Devin, saying that he'll fight Devin at 140 with a rehydration clause, and then deleted it.
I think basically what he was saying was they've been going back and forth. And that's when Devin was actually calling Tank out, and that doesn't mean that Tank had entertained the fight. But at the end of the day, even if that was the case, that's not an offer being sent to Devin Haney to fight Tank Davis with no rehydration clause. That's not what that is. So salute to the Queen. I appreciate the video. I wanted to see it. We saw it, but that's not evidence of an offer being sent for a fight to be made. And clearly Devin is the champion, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So why would he put himself on a rehydration clause to defend his own belt? No, Tank is going to go up and fight him. He's just going to go up and fight him, bro. That's
that
it.
Was at 140 when he
just bought Regis.
He just beat Regis. I remember that.
Yeah.
But tweet and delete is not an offer.
We need 2026, man. This back and forth every day with this triangle of Devin Haney, Tank Davis, Shakir Stevenson. 2026, we need all three of them at 147 with no rehydration. All three of them.
Hey, that's why we were saying. Before you came, that's what we were saying before you came.
Tank need to come on up.
Man, Tank want to fight Devin at 135. What?
Well,
we gotta give up on Tank, man. Listen, guys.
But Tank Tank is heavy right now. If it's now or never, bro.
Yep.
Bro, it's never for him. Devin and Tank were at 135 for years. They never fought.
Remember that freaking? And we kept saying they should fight. His fans were like, "Oh, Devin doesn't sell." What makes you think they got that Tank who could have fought 135 is gonna go up to 147 to fight him?
First of all, that's the
never
glamour
gonna happen.
division.
Huh?
That's the glamour division. That's gonna sell big.
Man, Tank don't care. Man, Tank don't care about that. That guy's gotta keep ducking, man. I keep saying it. I've been saying people want to blame Shakur. I think Shakur and Devin will fight eventually. I do believe. I feel like those two are very competitive, and sooner or later they're going to fight. I do not think Tank's gonna fight either one of them at all. You know, I don't see it. I'll be surprised if he does. I just think. I think honestly, you know, like at the end of the day, people will say, "Oh, Tank's a knockout artist," but Devin and Shakur are like the boxers. But fighters know who they can beat and who they can't beat. I think Tank's always gonna go for people that he knows he can beat. You know, like he was okay fighting Lamont Roach the first time, right? But when Lamont Roach started showing smoke, now he doesn't want to do a rematch either. You know, so it's like I don't know. I don't see it for Tank.
I mean, after Jake Paul, when the Jake Paul mess fell through, Roach should be Tank number one mission. I mean,
never. He's gonna fight Cruz. He's gonna fight because he's too tough.
Man, fuck Cruz. He already beat Cruz.
That's what I'm saying. He's too tough.
I ain't rocking with another Cruz fight either, man.
Bro, yo, I was literally telling Kel like this fight is stupid. They were like, "Oh no, it makes." I'm like, bro, no, it was a unanimous decision, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like, if it's about money, they should fight Cruz for the rest of his life. Then, if Cruz is the number one seller, you know, what are we talking about here?
Cruz.
I just don't for Tank. I just don't see it, man. I don't see him fighting those guys. I just think he feels like they're too tough. That's why I really believe.
Word. You know,
I think Shakur wants it.
Keisha, just to remind you what you said. I copy and pasted what you put in there about the offer being sent to Devin, and Devin said no. That's what you said.
Yeah, I don't see it. As far as this Crawford thing, though, right? Yo, this Crawford thing, it's corrupt. WBC is like we be corrupt, man. That's a corrupt sanction body. And honestly speaking, why is the belt worth a percentage, right? Why do you pay a percentage of a sanction fee? Like, so think about it. So like the bigger the event, the more I have to pay it. Even though the belt's the same damn belt for each event, you know? And then like when you actually
eat, bro. How the sanctioning bodies want to eat, bro?
Bro, it should be a flat. It's the same damn belt. No matter how big the event is, the same damn belt. Why it should be a flat fee? And then you should explain why you're charging it. How is it a percentage? And then you're making up things like
maybe it's the prestige of each one.
Let me no. Why is it a percentage?
3.33%.
But why? So why don't give me a flat fee? Like the belt doesn't change.
You pay more.
And then you're saying like, oh,
than Reebok.
It's for
I mean, but that's the way
it
been that's the way it been for years, though, man. You know what I mean? That's how it. It is what it is.
And that's why fools were throwing that belt in trash. But look at this, right? Look at this, right? So you're saying it's for like a fighter's retirement fund, right? Man, I have never heard of a fighter getting any kind of retirement fund from the WBC in my life.
Oh yeah, I call cap on that too, bro.
You heard that before? I've never heard before.
No.
Like
I ain't heard it before, but I heard Suma say it in that video, though.
Dude, I know fighters who went homeless after their career. I never heard fighters literally, getting any retirement check.
But no, Whitaker didn't get anything from that.
No.
You know what I mean? So what fighters, like you just said, what fighters benefit from? There's no fighters' names that ever came up. Winky Wright, he ain't never step up and say anything that he got. Bernard Hopkins never said anything about what he got. I mean, he's doing well, but he never claimed that he got anything from this. There's fighters that are facing a lot of.
I knew it was a retirement check is for.
Right, I'm just saying, but a lot of, right. There's a lot of fighters that have a lot of history. Even Tommy Hearns, shout out to Tommy Hearns. Where have we seen the WBC give him anything besides bringing him to a benefit and maybe flying him out and giving him a check for that? That's the only thing they don't give no fighters no retirement. These guys are struggling in their lives.
They be homeless. You
know what? Let me not lie because I don't know for sure. But what I can say is what I see. I haven't seen anybody speak up and saying they got anything from their retirement or their health benefits or any of these things. So let me be clear on that because a lot of this stuff that we hear from Mauricio Suleiman and the boxing fans that just want to kick people's backs in is a bunch of malarkey, and they just talk that crap because all they want to do is defend what they don't like. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
listen,
right,
can
man.
I add something to what Ray just said right there? It's real interesting about this whole fund for the fighters. None of these fighters have no idea about this fund. Let me tell you something. O'Shaquie Foster had to get educated. Suleiman took a moment and educated him on what that fund was, because clearly O'Shaquie didn't know nothing about it, right? Because O'Shaquie spoke on it and said, "No, he showed me," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what's up." Errol Spence stood up on the stage, said, "Where the hell does this money go?" He had no idea about this fund helping fighters. Keyshawn Davis is sitting up there like, where's this fund at? I've never heard of it. I don't know about it. Greg Hackett, somebody who's been in the boxing space for a long time, says, "Show me the address. Where do I go to this place? Like, what is this fund doing? Nobody's aware of this. The fans seem to be well aware of it, right? They'll swear on soft Bibles because Mauricio Suleiman told them there's a fund, but the actual fighters in the space who are actually paying these sanctioning fees are completely unaware of their money going anywhere else except for in Mauricio Suleiman's back pocket. That's what they thought it was going to, but they've been very curious about it. So this whole new narrative about $225,000 going to this and this is brand new to the fighters. And I mean, as me as a fan, it's definitely brand new. I never heard of it. So,
And it should be a flat fee. It shouldn't be a percentage. Like I'm greatly confused why it's a percentage. Like it doesn't make any sense, you know.
Yes.
Why is it like? Why is it a percent? Like, can you tell us an entity that doesn't change, right? Regardless of how big the event is, right? Because you can have a small event and a person will have a WBC title. The same WBC title will be in a large event. The same title, you know. So why is there a percentage for the same entity? It doesn't make any sense.
You know, hey, Keisha, hey, to the Queen, man. We love you, Queen, man. You know what I'm saying? We know you're just fighting for your you just defending your boy, man. We know what it is, man.
You like his hand purse, bro.
You got the information a little skewed. We good. We know you. We know what it's all about, man. We salute to the black woman, always supporting the black man. They're gonna stand tall, bro. Once they decide they got you, they don't give a damn, bro. They don't give a damn, bro. And we always gonna love you for that. Unfortunately, on this one though, yeah, nah. That's not what we said. It's all good though. Nothing but love, Queen. Nothing but love. He got caught up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens though. I get it. You know what I mean? When you listen, man, that's what you risk when you go and defend them. No matter what, you risk looking bad a little bit. I just wish Tank would appreciate y'all more. I wish he would understand what y'all out here doing in the fight that y'all fighting out here for him, and he wouldn't just so openly just do y'all like that. Tell y'all to shut up and just be fans. You know what I mean? He's abusive to you guys.
That's what they need, man.
I feel bad for y'all, bro. He's so mean. He's just so mean to y'all.
Yeah, the kid's tripping, man.
What was Keisha's dilemma? I just walked in. What was going on?
Yeah, well, I didn't even read it.
She thought that from her understanding, Tank's team sent Devin Haney an offer to make a fight just with a rehydration clause, and Devin turned it down. So she got a little video that she saw that made her believe that. She sent it to me, and I played the video up here, and that's not what it was at all. It wasn't an offer. It was Devin Haney basically laying out the terms to how a fight between him and Tank would happen. Devin was just making it clear and doubling down on there will be no rehydration clause between us. We're gonna be fighting straight up 100%, and it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Hey,
but we know Tank's not taking that fight, man. That's a
man. Tank eventually just gonna have to shit and get off the pot, man. Because when
get off the pot, bro.
Hey, man, when the Jake Paul fight fell through, you know he missed out on that bag. I know he hear all this criticism, all these detractors out here. You know, he haven't done this, he won't do that, he won't fight this person. I mean, when you are a super competitive athlete, when you so used to being successful, you're winning, you know, spectacularly, and when you having all this doubt that should be ultra motivation. I mean, that would make me want to get in the ring with Devin and Shakur immediately. I would want Roach go and get this Roach rematch out the way, and Shakur Devin. That would be my 2026. I'll fight
especially you add a bag to it too, right? All of a sudden,
all
there's a
three of
bag.
them bags.
All of a sudden, Turkey giving out bags. Line them up. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it more diabolical, Rick. What makes it more diabolical is that at this point, I don't know of too many more lucrative fights that are on the table for him than those guys. And to know that you're here for the money and trying to make all this money, that you wouldn't take the fight now with all that, that's when it becomes this weird energy where it's just like, yo, the money's before you had a legitimate argument saying, I don't need that guy to make that kind of money. I make that money on my own. I'm not going over there. They need to come to me. We get in the bag. But now it's clear as day that money's not over there for you no more. The money's actually in these fights. You get to shut them up and make the biggest bag, and you rather retire rather than make the fight now. What do you want us to do as fans of boxing, bro? How do you want us to call that, bro? What are we supposed to say on that? How do we process that information? What exactly do you want from us? You're going to sit up here, Rick, and be like, hey, man, well, no, after a while, you got to call spade a spade. Walking like a duck, quacking like a duck. You know what I'm saying? It's doing all types of duckish energy. It is what it is.
Right. I don't hold nobody hand, man. Hey, this the fight game. This the hurt game. You signed up for this. I'm not with no rehydration with nobody. Hey, man. It's another grown man in the ring that want to swing hands with you. You signed the contract. He say he better than you. You say you better than him. Let's prove it. All that extra chatter, all this gate chatter, pay-per-view, all this who sell, who don't sell. I don't give a damn about any of that. I don't care about your relationship status, Clarissa Shield. All I care about people is just fight. That's it.
That's it. Once they get you what you need, like I don't care about that extra stuff either, but you're saying that stuff is stopping you. So once all those boxes are checked, it becomes confusing as to why the fight ain't happening. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, shit. He didn't told you why.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yo,
I'm about to step off a little bit. I'm about to be back up. Hey, yo, y'all tap in to I'm calling the fights tonight. If you ain't got nothing to do, tap in. You know what I mean? You already know how we doing it, man. How we
I'm gonna try to get in there. I got a wake to go to and stuff. So after the wake, I'm gonna just slide right back into the house, and then I'm gonna come over here and chop it up with you. So
no doubt. Condolences, by the way, man.
It's close friend, man. Appreciate that.
No doubt.
Childhood friend.
Salute to you, Clay.
Peace, hacker.
Yeah, hacker. You need to stop playing, bro. Start coming over to the channel and stop letting people bully you, man.
Over the channel. He don't got nobody to argue with.
Nobody can bully me, buddy.
Yeah,
you're right about that. You're right about that.
When he come over to the channel, ain't no fight. Everybody's pretty much got common sense, so he can't fight. Ain't no fights up there. He like a good fight. He go where the fight is at.
I say he don't get a fair shake. He don't get a fair shake everywhere, but he a good dude, man. I like.
No. That's what I'm saying. He come over and just regular boxing talk. When he goes to the other spots, you know what I'm saying. He like the grit. He's part of the fight club. You know what I'm saying?
But contrary to what the comments say, he always stands his ground and holds his ground.
For sure.
You never look bad up there, bro. Ever.
No doubt, man.
It just doesn't go with the narrative.
Yeah. It's not.
Salute here for boxing.
Yo, my God, what's up, Clay? Always a pleasure to be around some real gentlemen.
What up?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, man. Hopefully those fights happen. You know, if Tank and Devin do fight, there should be no rehydration clause. That would be crazy. If you gotta fight Jake Paul at 190, wherever the hell weight class, you definitely can fight Devin at 147. But I just can't see it, guys. I don't see Tank. I don't see Tank doing that. I don't know what Tank's end game is. He might fight Lamont. He might just fight Cruz and retire. I don't know. I don't see him fight Shakur or Devin.
I don't want no Cruz.
Yo, who trying to disrespect the homie, bro? Who trying to disrespect? Yo, they fake, bro. You know what it is? To throw this out there, these are all these people that make up these fake accounts with these channels. I'm not gonna say who. You know what I mean? I kind of get it. And what they do is they run around here throwing shade at people, and then they'll try to confront you on their channel. You know what I mean?
What happened?
No, I'm talking to Rick. I seen what happened, man. Listen, man, they fake, bro.
Oh man,
Yeah, they out here, they fake, bro. They
right.
all yeah, they cowards, bro. You know what I mean? They'll never. I don't know. I don't want to get into that because I don't like name calling, and I'm all about happiness, bro. And I don't need nobody trying to bring me out of my shit. So, I mean, bump them dudes, bro.
Yeah, that's
Frequent.
real.
You can tell them what Tank said to them. By the way, it's in the chat in the thing in the share screen. Tank definitely told them that in case they didn't see it. Yeah. I don't know what Frequent doing. I think he building his model ship.
Free was gonna fly a plane, man.
Exactly. He's like, yo,
he monitored
disappeared.
something. He tweeted.
But yeah, man.
How y'all feel about that Shakur and Teal fight?
I got Shakur. I mean, I
got Shakur. I think
I need Shakur to really, really bust up T.O. T.O. Him and Ryan, I really can't stand either one of those dudes. So anytime they face a melanated brother, I need the melanated brother to beat they behinds.
Oh, my bad, y'all. What's this? I was away for a minute. What's this that I pulled up on the screen right here?
It's a message to his fan base.
His loyal fan base.
Oh, somebody put that in there.
He's letting them know your ass died by.
Man, Tank.
But
that's not a good look with Tank, man. You know, when dog, that's I don't care if you got something personal with who you directing that to, or if you don't care if your fan base as a whole feel like you directing it to them. That's just not a good look, especially in your present situation. I mean, you haven't been fighting. You having these allegations. You just had a fight fall through. You got the police monitoring you with probation. I mean, you got so much of a negative cloud, hovering over you.
Mm-hmm.
That type of dialogue is not even necessary, man.
Right.
You develop and draw negative spirits your direction when you emit that type of energy. So when you smell your shit, you think you're more than you're not, and Tank really need to take a long look in the mirror and have a check himself, because he's starting to flame a little bit out of control, and it won't end well for the young brother, man. I want to see the young brother do well. I want to see him fight real competition, but all this sideshow circus shit he's steady involved with is something gonna eventually malfunction, and it's gonna be brutal.
That's why I think he better leave Pitbull alone. Mess around and come back and bite him in the ass, bro.
That would suck.
Listen, bad things happen when you move certain ways, bro. And we've seen this throughout the game period, through sports and everything. I don't know if y'all heard my question earlier. I'm glad y'all up here. Somebody was talking about when I forgot what it was, when Devin was at 35 and the belts didn't matter, and he wasn't the best fighter, this and that, and Tank was the best fighter. And so I asked a question and to put a narrative, but they said it didn't correlate. But y'all tell me what y'all think. When I asked the question about who was better, Joe Montana or Dan Marino, right? At the end of the day, a lot of people are going to say who was better, and in my opinion, it's going to be Joe Montana. And rightfully so. Why? Because he had the championships, right? He did a lot of similar things to Dan Marino, who had all the records. He had the MVPs. You know what I mean? Yeah, he got to the title game, but he never won one. So at the end of the day, when you talk about great quarterbacks, Dan Marino only comes up when stats are broken. Joe Montana comes up as all-time greatest. You know what I mean? He's in the history books as being one of the greatest players of all time. There's a reason for that. So when you look at the parallels to Tank and Devin being at 135, yes, it looks crazy when you're saying, oh, the belts don't matter, this and that, but yet you're still holding on to a title and you're still doing certain things that, I mean, most people are like, well, the belt didn't matter. It was a secondary belt, but it was a real belt. It doesn't matter. First of all, he never won that belt off a champion. Let's keep it a buck. He won that in the ring after another champion dropped that belt to become an elevated champion. So at the end of the day, are we really talking about Gervonta being the best in the division? I mean, the best should be the guy that runs around with all the jewelry. Am I not mistaken?
I mean, but that's
you're
the whole
correct.
thing.
You're 100% correct about that. And I've been saying the same. I've been saying something similar. Like, at the end of the day, no matter who you feel is the best in the division, you can feel Tank is the best. You can feel Shakur is the best. You can feel this person's the best. Objectively speaking, the person who holds all the titles has to be respected as the best. They are at the top of that division in rankings and everything, and everybody else below them is a contender. And that's just how it is, you know. Like people say, "Oh, George Kambosos was a great. He was still a champion of the division." Well, he was at the end of the day, he was the number one champion of the division, and Devin was number two.
But and let me tell you how that aged like fine wine, right? So when he was undisputed at 135, he beat, he had two fights there. He moved up because he had two defenders, including the rematch with Kambosos. He moved up. He was on the pound for pound list. I think he made it to number 4 in the pound for pound list. How does that look now? Him moving up not only to 140, winning the belt, and now moving up to 144, because pound for pound is you moving up in weight or fighting at different weights and still sustaining the best, being the best in the division. Both divisions, he was number 1 as he moved up eventually. So does that prove to the fact that he was the best at 135 or no? That nullifies it.
I mean, that's the thing about saying that the belts don't matter and stuff like that. Like, soon as like Tank and different people start saying, well, Tank the only fighter I really was hearing saying that belts don't matter. But when all of his fans was running around saying the belts don't matter and all of that stuff, it just didn't sit right with me from the gate, when he first said that, because the belts in the ranking system actually provide structure. And if you're interested in seeing the best fight the best, as a hardcore boxing fan, you want to see good fights. You want to see the best fight and the best. And the ranking system and the belts provide that structure for you, because you got people climbing up the rankings in the divisions to try to get to the top, to get to the belt. So you're going to see the best fighters at the top. If everybody go through the ranking system the way it's supposed to be, of course, we got some people who get, privilege or whatever. They get skipped up some kind of way, whatever. But originally, the Muhammad Ali Act was supposed to protect the fighters in that manner as well, that you have a ranking system where fighters can work their way up to be able to get a shot at the championship. And then when you had multiple sanctioning bodies coming in with different belts, then that made it a little bit more wishy-washy once you get to the top, because then now you got more than one champion, and those champions are not obligated to fight each other. See, that kind of messes it up right there, because then you could have a champion for the WBC that don't want to fight with the champion from the WBA, and nothing can really be done about it. It's like you got up the ranking system, and now, nobody really knows who the champion is for real, who's the best fighter, because you don't have an undisputed champion. That's why undisputed is so important to me. Because undisputed, you don't have nobody else, no other champion in that division that somebody else can point to and say, no, he's better right there because he's a champion too. No, you took every belt in that division, so it's no dispute on who the champion is. I'm the undisputed champion. I'm the champion.
But see, on the flip side, frequent when Canelo was undisputed at 68, he was undisputed, but the consensus Benavidez was the best at 168, but Canelo wouldn't fight him.
I mean, we know why. We know why that happened though, because the ranking system the WBC let him get around it. By they definitely let him get around it, because the reason why I say it because when Jamal Charlo got up and was supposed to fight him, they did what they supposed to do. They stripped Canelo and gave the belt to Jamal Charlo. He became the champion. And Canelo moved up. Canelo got the franchise belt.
Yeah, he dropped it, and
The
Just
yeah,
same
give him
thing,
the
and the
franchise
same
belt.
thing happened with, Lomachenko with Devin Haney. When Devin Haney got there,
yeah,
Lomachenko dropped the belt. Devin got it, and they gave him the franchise championship. And then Loma started getting ridiculed about it and stuff. And then that's when they came back to try to protect Loma and start trying to switch it up and say, oh, okay, well, Devin is only the Pride champion. Lomachenko's the real champion. And they start trying to, say that they tried to give him more prestige than it actually was, and that's why when a lot of people talk about Tio not being undisputed, Tio wasn't being fully transparent on the Breakfast Club when he was saying he don't know why people didn't want to get him the undisputed and trying to make it to be all these different reasons. No, you know why? Because you had the franchise belt and Devin Haney had the true belt. That's
right,
why
Yeah,
you're not in the record books as undisputed.
exactly.
and the funny thing about it, the person who has more argument is probably be Cambosis. The reason being, I said this yesterday. The franchise title wasn't a championship belt, right? It was an award. You couldn't win it off when Lomachenko was rewarded the franchise title. You couldn't win it off him. You couldn't beat him for it. Even though Lomachenko lost, he's still supposed to hold it. Tio
Exactly.
requested.
Tio had the petition. Yeah, he had to ask
Yeah, he
for it.
requested. He didn't win it in the ring. He requested. Upon the fact if he wins, it was still a request. The only person I think they changed for Cambosis, but I think but for Tio, he did not win the franchise title in the ring, so he couldn't use it as a championship belt to claim undisputed. But we don't
Right,
want to say that,
right.
which is always
Yeah, the
weird.
WBC was making it up as they went along, man. That's
Yeah,
why I say they've been moving.
Anything for
I
the
haven't been
sanctions.
liking the way they. I haven't been liking the way they've been moving for years, man. This thing with Terrence Crawford ain't the first thing. They've been moving funny for years, man. That's why I don't really. That's my least favorite out of all the sanctioning bodies.
yeah.
Hey, let
That's
me
right around
respond to what Keisha said real quick though about this whole Shakur Oshaki Foster. Oshaki Foster is not Shakur's mandatory. He's in a position where he can request to become mandatory. I don't know if he's in a position to request it because they're not giving him the interim belt, right? But he's not. He hasn't been positioned. It hasn't been requested for him to become a mandatory challenger to Shakur. I know people wanted to be like Shakur's ducking Oshaki and this and that. It hasn't happened. Oshaki's not even 135 yet. So it's just that.
And I don't think Shakur coming back down either.
I think he'll come back. I think he'll come back down. I think
Man,
he's only
for
there
what?
for Tio.
On the Breakfast Club, he was talking about he was entertaining the fight with Conor Ben at 147 on a with a rehydration clause, and Devin
Yeah, 'cause
too possibly after that.
He's not big enough. That's why he wants a rehydration club.
Man, Shakur need to go on, stop playing games and leave them little bitty boys alone. 135, 140, man.
I think the only person who
147.
gives.
He need to go on, take his ass to 147 and fight the real men and 154 next. He big enough and he's skilled enough. I ain't no point of holding him back.
He's skilled enough now. Big enough, I'm not sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He's big enough for
On the interview, he said at the
54.
interview he said he'll only be cutting a little bit of weight to be at 147, but he definitely walk around bigger than 147, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he walks around bigger though. But then people are walking around substantially bigger. That's the question. But I think 135, 140 still got a good fight. Like I think for him, conquering 135 would be good. Like collecting all the belts, collecting Abdullah Mason's belt. I think that's a really good look for him. Also, like I said, I don't know about Tank. If him and Tank fight, I think collecting his belt as well. Trying to go for undisputed at 135 would be great for Shakur.
135.
I mean, or he can fight Gary Antoine. I mean, Gary Antoine. Originally said
that sounds better.
Gary Antoine originally said he didn't want to fight Shakur, but I think maybe for title, they can fight. They can bump. That'd be a good fight. I don't know who will win that. I think Shakur will beat Gary Antoine though. I'll probably lean towards Shakur.
Yeah, me too.
Gary Antoine at 140 though, right?
Yeah. Shakur wanted to fight Gary Antoine before, but Gary Antoine was like he wanted the belts. But Shakur has the belts at 140, then I think they gotta make that shit happen though. I don't think Gary Antoine will duck Shakur. They used to be sparring partners.
Shit, how long Gary Antoine gonna hang around?
Ray, what's this for, Ray?
Ray Antoine's small though. You know he's not. You know the Russell family. They're like small stature.
Well, y'all petty as hell, man.
That's Ray Davis, man. When he presents stuff up there, I can't really see it until I click on it and see what it is. So
you better be careful, man.
Hey,
yeah, I know, right? No, but since it said Ray Davis on it, you know, I clicked. I know Ray wouldn't put nothing crazy up there.
Hey, man, Tay had to get some grease out his eye, man. Let the man make it, man. Damn, man. Hey, boy, it's crazy, man. When I see memes on Tank, I see memes on Bud, I see memes on Shakir. Hey, boy, the internet is undefeated, boy. Everybody be getting their ass bust, man. So I laugh at everybody, man.
Some people be crashing out.
Exactly. It's all fun and games, bro. And nobody got hurt.
Nobody
got hurt.
Man.
Hey, this is my thing though. I put that little John up there. You know, we saw Tank, you know, taking the knee and all of that. But why would you want to fight Pitbull instead of getting it back with Lamont Roach? After that happened with you and Lamont Roach, man, they made a whole meme. I mean, people would remix songs and stuff. They had a whole song clowning you about that. You don't want to get it back?
Right.
I mean, Tank they don't got no legs to stand on talking about Devin need to get it back with Ryan Garcia and all that. Ryan Garcia cheated. Lamont Roach ain't cheat, bro.
I mean, that's a good point. Exactly. They want Devin to get it back with Ryan. They don't want Tank to get it back with Roach.
Hey,
because Pitbull did a draw. Tank got in there one with one hand as well. And he had a draw. Like, come on, man. Like, it is what it is. So Ryan should get it back with Rolly because he lost to freaking Rolly. I mean, if that's the case,
somebody needs to take that belt from Rolly because Rolly's the worst person to have that belt, man. Because he's got cherry pick. He's got cherry pick.
This is the second time Rolly then said he ain't fighting Devin. When Devin had the WBC, he tried to fight him at 140. He did the same thing. And
you know why? You know why, Ray?
Why?
Yeah, you remember that. Now Tim's like, yo, he did do that. Yo, he did, right?
I mean, I don't get it, man. Damn, Rolly.
It's simple, Ray. Let me tell you something, right? Fighters know each other in the gym, you know. All these fighters know it. Like we look at them some way, they look at each other a different way. Devin and Rolly sparred before.
So did Tio.
Rolly and Ryan sparred before. So Rolly is very comfortable fighting Ryan, right? Devin wasn't comfortable. Rolly had problems with Devin, so he's not comfortable sparring Devin again. He's fighting Devin, you know. Same thing with Theo. All these fighters are the same way.
Yeah, but still, fuck sparring. Hey, man, we grown men. Hey, you got a title. I got a title.
In the sparring, they get a glimpse of what that fighter brings to the table, and so.
That's why
sometimes you in sparring, right? Somebody will just watch you in sparring. You, but I ain't fighting that dude. Your mind saying, "I'm never fighting."
I'm a champion. You a champion.
That's why I alluded to earlier. Tim froze up. But I was like, yo, when Shakur won that fight with Yoshino, nobody but De Los Santos was looking to get in the ring with that dude. Nobody. I'm not.
Hey, look. That's why Shakur wanted to put a rehydration clause on Devin, bro.
No, he wanted more money than what Devin was offering. He wanted more money. He wanted, but now Devin did the same thing. Nobody want to get in the ring with. People remember the last fight you win, bro. Lamont Roach was memorized for what he did in March with Tank when he fought Pitbull. All that changed because it's the last fight that people remember.
But before Devin versus Brian Norman happened, Shakur was already saying that he was saying he wouldn't fight Devin up there
because he knows their skill set. They've been in. They
that's what I was saying. He was saying he would fight Conor Ben, but he said he wouldn't fight Devin.
Yeah,
but now he switched it up though. He's saying he'll fight him with a rehydration clause.
Money talking.
But the point is still obvious there that he thinks that Devin has more skills, so he'll have to put something on him.
You know what it is? Hey, Freak, you know what it is with Devin and Shakur? Devin is not about skill. I think Shakur has a little more skill than Devin. But the difference is that Devin has a lot of air. Like his stamina is crazy. You know, and
I think he
Devin
got
is
more power than him
fast.
too.
So like Shakur knows, like, you know, like if you find somebody who's like moves like Devin, it's not gonna be the same thing when you fight like these other guys because you can like control your heart rate. Devin's gonna move at a rate that's gonna be hard for Shakur. You know, and Shakur knows that. But skill for skill, like I love, you know, I'm a big Devin fan. Skill for skill, Shakur might be a little more even in the skill set, but I think Devin's more athletic. But and the difference isn't that much.
I think Shakur is a better defensive fighter though.
He is. But for 12 rounds, Shakur's not stopping Devin, and Devin's not getting tired.
Right.
See, that's the problem.
Devin got the footwork advantage and the reach advantage, and
Yeah.
maybe power too.
Yes.
Frequent, we got to get Boxing Hacker a Handles Clan logo.
you the public relations guy, bro. You gotta hook him up in the back.
You gotta give me his email. I'm gonna get Rick Tim's one too.
Frequent be sending the Hanos chains in the mail to the new members.
Yo, you got the chains.
We got a new member earlier today. Yo, he the boy Cornelius Bennett.
Burnett.
I think Burnett. Yeah, that's his name. Me and him, he was telling me that it was no way Devin was going to get out of this. I said, yo, if Devin beat Brian Norman Jr., if he dropped, I said he gonna drop Brian Norman Jr. He said, if he dropped Brian Norman Jr., man, I'm joining the Hanos clan. I said, okay, shot in this, bro. Now it then came to fruition. I'm about to email him his joint. He an email member.
Yeah.
Frequent. Listen to this, Frequent. Frequent, listen to this.
Right, Frequent.
Go ahead, Hagen. What you say?
Listen to this, right? So on Cam J Network, I remember Brian Norman Sr. came on there. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, Brian Norman is about to kill Devin. He's about to kill him." I was like, "I think Devin's gonna beat Brian Norman Jr." And I was like, "The skill is okay, but like the footwork difference is a bit different than footwork. You know, I don't think Brian Norman Jr. can beat him." And everybody was saying that, Brian Norman was gonna win. I said, listen, I told Brian Norman, listen, they're just saying this now. If Devin beats Brian Norman Jr., they gotta treat him like Cambosis. Act like he sucks. As soon as Devin beats Brian Norman Jr.,
what happened.
Exactly what happened. Exactly.
See, that's what I don't like with this YouTube boxing stuff, man. Before the Devin and Brian fight, I openly picked Brian to win. So when Devin won the fight, I gave Devin his credit, and I wasn't gonna join the Brian Norman was a bum.
That's crazy.
That's lame to me. All I can do is get a man credit. I picked against you. I was wrong. You look a lot better than I expected, especially after what you displayed with Ramirez. But damn, you look like you're back. I mean, all I can do is state facts, man. All that favoritism or fanboyism or dick riding and ass sucking.
Johnson riding.
Yeah, man. Like I say, frequent, man. Bud is my top fighter, but boy, I flame Bud when need be. I don't get these dudes, man.
For real.
Hey, shout out to Jab Queen Boxing, but she had interviewed Brian Norman Jr. before the fight, right? And I'm over there and she talking to Brian Norman Jr. and she was capping him up. Yo, she was like, a lot of people think that you can't box and everything. All these Devin Haney fans, thinking that Devin's just going to easily outbox you. They don't know that you could box. She was like, what I want you to do is just go in there and box Devin head off. I just want you to go in there and box him. And he was all laughing. And I was like, I said, I wish he would go in there trying to box Devin. And I think he might have tried to do that, yo. So I always tease her and say, you got that, you put the battery in that ball back and got that ball beat up.
Hey, look, they never play it back though. That's crazy work, man.
Yo, Rick, I got a question for you, Rick. So do you think Karen Kukajan can beat Brian Norman?
Man, After what I saw Devin do to him, yes.
Okay. You don't think Brian Norman can knock out Karen Kukujan? You don't think he has enough flaws in his game where he can get cut off? I think he cuts the ring off well. And I think he does. But he also
some
stays in
people,
the middle.
Ray, it's people who think that Karen can beat
I know, that's
Devin.
what I'm asking, because a lot of people were saying that Karen can win, and I'm like, yo, I don't see
What
that.
the hell has Karen done?
I think Karen can win too, but a lot of I'm saying a lot of people think that I'm saying a lot of people think that Karen can beat Devin. So why wouldn't you think that people think that he could beat Brian Norman Jr.?
That second fight against Boots, that wasn't the same Karen Boots saw the first fight. That second fight against Boots, Karen kept catching Boots flush.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. I brought that to their attention too, OG. I was like, what about the second fight?
And Karen didn't run all 12 rounds. Karen came to fight that second round. I mean,
I
Boots
agree.
So
do you think that Karen? You think that Karen that stood in that ring and in exchange with Boots would exchange with Brian Norman? And get knocked
I don't
out?
think Brian Norman hits that hard, bro. He was fighting. He was fighting the extra in the Godzilla movie, bro.
He hit hard.
I mean, he's stumping. He's stumping. He got some heavy hands.
I think if
I'm not saying he can't punch, but I don't know if he punched harder than Boots though.
I think he. Well, Boots is a bigger fighter, bro. Like he's a much bigger fighter.
Boots more accurate. So when Boots, it's gonna hurt you more from his punch placement. You know?
But that's what I'm talking about. I'm saying like you talking like you saying like Brian Norman Jr. would have knocked him out.
Yes.
Not Karen out, but Boots couldn't though. Boots couldn't knock him out though.
But you got to remember the game plan. Boots came in that fight to cut off the ring, bro. He didn't come in that fight to stay in the square circle with Karen. So that caught him off guard.
No, you keep talking about the first fight. The second fight, he didn't have to cut off the ring in the second fight, bro.
Go watch the fight again. Boots didn't like get clean shots off in the pocket against Karen. He never got it. He only got one.
But Karen wasn't running either, though, was he?
But hold on. But when he caught him on the ropes, he got a clean shot off. And what happened? He dropped him. He made that man take a knee. So,
but that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying that Brian Norman don't hit that much harder than Boots for you to say he'll definitely get him out of there.
Brian Norman's going to keep that fight in the middle of the ring as long as he can, and he's going to wait for that moment to catch him with that left hook. He's going to sit there and wait for it. He's not going to sit there.
I don't think that'll ever come, bro.
All right. Listen, I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it.
Well,
I think that should be the fight next. Brian Norman Jr., Brian Norman Sr., go find this dude, Karen Kukujan. Make that the next fight. Let's see if you can really beat this dude, because people really don't think you can. And he got the footwork like Devin Haney, they say. They say he can fight in the pocket, you know what I mean, like Devin just did against you. Let's see you get it in. Because this is probably, I think this is the number 2 guy that just got into your position in the WBO. So you need to go fight this dude right now and prove the doubters wrong. Because I believe you can beat this dude, bro.
Let's see.
I ain't really see Devin fight in the pocket though, bro. I saw Devin fight toe to toe. I saw him fight toe to toe. When he got on the inside, they grabbed and Devin. I saw Devin punch him off the break and everything and beat him. He won the inside battle as far as the clinching
when they was together.
But as fighting in the pocket is not that though, bro. Fighting in the pocket is being that close without clinching and none of that. Just that's what I call fighting in the pocket.
They both fell into each other, bro. You can't. Hey, you still got to fight while you in there. They was both throwing punches, so it's what it is.
But that's what I mean. That we didn't really see
they wasn't
too much
in a phone
pocket
booth.
fighting.
They was in a phone booth. No, they weren't in the phone booth, but in the pocket, yes.
If you want to call clinching, clinching in the pocket, I guess
belt on ankles, and y'all going blow for blow.
If you want to call clinching in the pocket, I guess. But whenever we could say I saw Brian Norman Jr. clinching a whole lot.
He was,
but Devin clinched sometimes too. But I think it was because Brian Norman Jr. was smothering his work.
Into him.
Yeah, he was smothering his work, but I wouldn't call that fighting in the pocket, bro. I would call that
man,
fighting off the clinch or something different.
I'm not fighting with you, bro. However you see it, I ain't here to argue with you on that. You right. That's how you feel. I ain't gonna argue that point.
Man, what's going on in the chat, man? Hey, ladies, Bella and Keisha. Damn, boy.
Taking me in the feelings, bro. Taking me, bro. But we all know
Damn, yo, you really come on, man. How you gonna
Hey,
jump
this
in
where
that
it go
and
down at,
disrespect the
bro. I
queen like
gave
that?
Keisha.
Somebody she wasn't loved as a child, bro. That's
Hey, I gave
disrespectful.
Keisha the rink so she can stand in there and fight. You know what I
All right.
mean? Because
Yo,
so
yo, I'm about to go into the chat myself because I gotta go pick up my son. So somebody else can
I
come
salute,
up
bro.
or however you doing, man. Inshallah.
yeah,
All right.
I think I'm gonna shut it down, y'all. I've been up here almost 4 hours, yo.
All right.
We
Peace
at
out.
3 hours and 44 minutes. We at already.
Oh, they trolling your chat right now.
Well, who that?
Zesty boy, Maxie Poppy.
Mighty good, little
First of
zesty
all,
boy.
I feel like I need to brush my tongue off with some soap for just saying that, bro. That's just
Mods ain't doing their job down there, man. Y'all got
yo.
Hey man,
Why
everybody.
y'all got wrenches, bro? Letting this happen.
Hey man,
Get them out of here.
Hey,
It's a war zone, man.
Hey man, it's gangster in this bitch. Salute to Keisha and salute to Bella.
Yeah, man. Let them queens,
Much love.
have it, bro. They don't need y'all. Who was that?
They
Who was
should
that
have,
was
they should
jumping
be
in? Let
they
them
should
have
come
it,
up on
bro.
ladies night and argue it out, man.
Yeah.
Keisha and Bella should just come
Oh
on
no,
ladies
they
night
can't
and
go to
argue.
ladies' night and argue it out because ladies' night be a little biased as far as that, bro.
Oh,
They do be
they need
biased
to come
and
up
shit.
here then.
Yeah,
They
gotta
yeah,
put
they
can't go
probably,
in there.
you know, they'll probably quiet silence Bella and shit, you know. Yeah, they do be biased a little bit.
No, but I'm gonna shut it down, y'all. I appreciate everybody for coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
no doubt.
appreciate everybody for coming in the
Yeah, salute to you, Freak. I
live
didn't
and
even know you
everything.
had a channel, man. I knew
Oh
you had a
yeah, I was
channel, but I thought
wondering when you was gonna stop through. I was like,
I just thought
dang,
you were
he
flying
done skipped
planes.
like 3
Yeah.
Hanos Clan meetings, man. He ain't
Yo.
been showing up for the Hanos Clan meetings, bro.
Yeah. Yo.
Y'all crazy,
Yeah,
man.
well, hold on.
Man,
Happy
salute to you guys.
insubordination.
Yeah, yo, Rick inboxing. Go into the private chat. I'm gonna put my IG in there if y'all don't got it. Or you can
Hey
hit me up on
y'all
Twitter.
smash the like button on the way
Hold on.
out, man.
Let me put this up
Go
in
ahead.
here. Hold on. So they
Let me
can
screenshot it.
yeah, let me put this in here so y'all can follow me and shit. And that way I can hit y'all up with stuff when I get it.
Okay.
Yo, y'all smash the like button on the way out, y'all. I appreciate everybody for the super chats and everything, for the thumbs up, and just being here, man. And I appreciate y'all for the good conversation. We out, y'all.
All right. Yo, hold on.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah,
All right. In the private chat.
Salute
All right,
y'all.
no doubt.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Peace out.
Shelton, what's good, bro? You kind of late, man. We salute.